Back for our live Mole Queen social weekend. Thank you for joining us. We have a fun day in store for you. We have a special guest that is live in studio, and she will start at around 10:30, maybe a little bit before. Um, just wanted to have you comment where you're from, where you're watching us from. We like to see all of our guests. I know that there's a lot here local where we are. We're a family business in Arizona. We have 3 locations. We have my mom and dad who still work pretty much 6 and 7 days a week, and my 2 brothers and I. And now we even have a third generation that is working. And my cohort here, Jer, he is working full time.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, Jer, the background. You're
I know
so
we don't have
you,
a quilt on
you look
here
so
today.
naked. What's going
I
on?
know. I got this beautiful yellow
Oh
wall.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we'll put a surprise quilt up in a little bit. Here.
perfect.
Yep. So
Darren, we got people from Oregon, people in Mesa. Brian wants to know how my puppies are. How are your puppies, Darren? Or your puppy?
my puppy is getting so big that we can't contain him anymore. We have a gate that he just pushes away now and just walks through the whole house.
Yeah, mine. Like my gate's out back, and they're out back, and they'll hop over that gate or their playpens and stuff. They're big.
One of our on Facebook, I had mentioned about our dog, and there was so many of our Facebook followers that shared their pets. That was always I like doing that. People sure love their pets, and they have a lot of you have cute little dogs. Lynn Miller, one of our educators, she had a cute little doggy um, that had feathers.
That's a bird.
Oh, that's Bird. She has a wonderful bird. So, Jer, I put out an email this morning about the last call for our Southwest Embroidery Conference.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this show. We've been working hard at putting it together. We have, if you guys haven't heard, which hopefully you have, we have about 7 spots left as of last night. And we're going to start off with, well, there's 2 groups. The first group will start off with OESD. The second group will start off with a handy quilter and a different set of classes. And, so it's 2 days hands-on with embroidery machines where we supply everything. And then the fun part for this particular version of this event is we're going to have 4 breakout classes. We're going to make a snow globe pillow top on a long arm machine that is totally computerized. Um, we are going to have a gal named Megan Best, who is you should check out her website bestquilter.com. She is going to give a class during this Southwest Embroidery Conference. We have the wonderful Sherry from Juki, who's going to guide you through making a wine bag tote that we supply Sergers and high-speed straight stitch machines for that, which is going to be cool. Hopefully, get some of you out of your comfort zone. And we have World of Embroidery, which is going to be the complete knowledge of stabilizer and threads, and that is called Southwest Embroidery Conference. My brother Ken is also going to give a class during this, and one of the brother educators, Kay Coleman. I believe she's going to do a quick a scan and cut project with everybody. So it's going to be quite a weekend. There's only 7 spots left. It includes lunch, breakfast, um, and everything. Everything is supplied. Um, we also have another few weeks for anybody that has joined us for the Clash of the Cloth. Those will be due in, I think, on the 3rd of December. So any of our contestants making that, please get those in when you can so we can get photos of it. And our next live which would be the third weekend of December. That will be the where we do the voting for Clash of the Cloth. Today we're gonna talk about some stocking stuffers, and we have our game. So game so is oh wow, that is, anybody can read that screen notice there. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be. 150 likes, that won't be very hard, will it? Or is that?
That won't be hard at all. So that's why I set the bar pretty low, because that would be.
We should get a dunk tank. And
just to dunk you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
And my brother. Maybe my brother. They're my big. Yeah.
Keith, but he has to do a handstand on the seat.
Yeah. So if you guys share this, I think you've already done that. I see a lot of dones over there. Share our feed. You know anybody that's into embroidery, this is going to be an event for you today, our live. We did have a schedule change. We'll have John Deere joining us down the road. We haven't scheduled the exact time, but something did come up, an emergency where he couldn't make it. But don't fret, we have the amazing Lindee Goodall here with us. So we're going to have her join us here in a few moments. She is live in the studio, and she is going to show us like the recipe of embroidery and anatomy of a design and Mylar embroidery, digitizing. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's here in a few moments. Jared, what else is on the agenda for today? The games. I think people like the games.
Yeah, we've got I've got my other laptop here with a bunch of games on it. We don't have bingo this week, but we also don't have Clash of the Cloths.
I want to tell everybody something special. We have. Could you go to our website?
Yeah.
There's a Trish is working on this. She's working hard in the background for us to get some of the stuff on our website. And we are going to do some Black Friday stuff next week. It'll be announced in an email tomorrow, but I'm going to give you all a head start on under live events. Let's see if it might not be there yet, but that live events category, it is the Kimberbell one. We are going to do 30% off Kimberbell, and while stock is on hand, you guys get the first chance to shop before it all runs out. That's making me seasick. But that is right on our homepage of moltqueen.com. Click on the balloons because it's so festive, and Jared might even throw some confetti. See if he can do that because he is a mastermind DJ. Oh, see, look at him. I'm putting a task on hand for Jared. But we do like specials, and so today we are going to offer a lot of specials and something for free for all you viewers out there that are interested in embroidery. So with that said, Jared, do you mind? Do you want to? How are we going to get Lindy into the screen? Are we just going to switch the camera over, or how are we going?
Lindy's actually gonna.
Oh, you're going to come.
She's going to run over to you. So
yeah, I'm going to come over here.
So everybody, I don't know if you know this young lady, but when I was about this tall, maybe this tall, I was working at our Chandler store. That was kind of like my little managerial place at the time. I had this, it was more of a vacuum shop, some sewing machines. And then my brother Ken, who opened up our Mesa store, he was so into embroidery that it intrigued me as well. So I got this little embroidery machine that was sent over, and I sold a lot, but nothing like Ken sold.
Was it this one?
It might have been. So I know we have shown this before, but here is the first. It was a DOS-based program. It connected to a Windows 95 computer. Look at the huge size
This is
of
the
that.
large hoop.
Isn't that amazing? That was huge. And I remember hearing this story of a gal who was so good at digitizing that she, um, it was like this IAM's dog food. I don't know why that's always, I always
Yeah,
that reminds me of you.
that was my big starter.
Yeah. So you digitized because with this machine, you were able to do with a DOS-based program, like create
Yes.
from a JPEG behind it or,
Yeah,
yeah.
JPEG. And what I was able to do was I worked for an ad agency at the time. And we were doing this huge campaign for IAM's dog food. It's called Raining Cats and Dogs. And we were going to do the top 30 dogs. So I asked the artist, I said, where do you get your artwork? Because I knew that there were no good digitized dogs that were show breeds. They were pet dogs, but not show breeds.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing, show breeds. And he says, well, can you have one tomorrow? And I said, of course. So I went to the mall, and that's when you could still buy a blank shirt. And I bought 2 blank shirts. Bill was traveling, so I knew I could stay up all night and not bug anybody. And I digitized this dog. It was an English Springer Spaniel. And I put it on this shirt, and I went into the account exec's office the next morning, and I had the shirt on a hanger behind my back. And I said, what if we add something really, really nice to this campaign? And he said, like what? And I said, like embroidered shirts. And I whipped it out, and I saw dollar signs in his eyes. So I knew that this number that I practiced really hard all night to say it was a huge number to me, because I knew I had to buy professional software. And they paid for my software.
Oh, yeah.
They paid $10,000 for my professional software. And that was
$10,000.
that was what, 9 months after I got this little guy. And when a year after I got this little one, I bought a 9-needle machine. So an embroidery machine can change your life.
And so, can I ask about that other company that you created?
Sure.
Yeah. So, from this IAM's dog food, like, how did you get the idea to start creating design collections?
Well, I was already on CompuServe back then, and I had a website.
Anybody know CompuServe?
There are probably a few of you out there that might have been members of this group where we traded tips and designs. We knew nothing because embroidery wasn't a thing in the sewing stores.
It was only commercial.
Yeah, it was only commercial. And so what I had been told was basically a cross between free motion and hooped. And it worked okay when you only have a hoop this big.
Yeah.
But once you have a larger hoop, those techniques didn't work anymore.
Is that actually 4x4? It looks smaller.
Oh no, it's like 3.5.
3.5. Yep. That was how big the hoop was. And so you were so good at, like, for you to be able to figure out how to digitize without really anybody kind of.
I was a programmer.
Okay.
I was a programmer, and I have a degree in art. So I just took those 2 ideas and kind of combined them. And I made a lot of test samples.
Yeah. So you learned, like, underlay. Did you underlay it properly, do you think, back then?
My machine came with 2 designs. I lived in Ohio. One of them was a Michigan State logo. No Buckeye is going to sew a Michigan State logo.
Yeah.
And I think the other one was Special Olympics or something. And I just looked at them to see how they were built, and I thought, oh, I could do this. Yeah.
So then you started coming up with, like, oh, I can make a design collection of animals. I can make a design collection of cactus.
My husband's daughter was going to have her first baby. So I started with teddy bears because I wanted to make some teddy bears for the shower. And I just started making things. And I worked with a bunch of artists. I was more of a multimedia developer, a programmer. So I worked with artists, and they would give me artwork, and I would just make stuff.
Yeah. And then you would put it into a collection.
Put it into a collection. I built my own website, had my website up in 1996.
Oh, wow.
So I was one of the first embroidery companies online.
And so I'm guessing that you all out there might know the name of the company that she created way back when. Definitely, it had to have been one of the biggest. I know it was one of the biggest, but
it was one of the biggest in the home market.
Yeah.
We couldn't compete with like Dakota and those big guys.
Okay.
But my focus was people like us that sew on machines like that. Well, we didn't have machines like this then.
Oh, we had machines like this.
We had machines like this, and I think Janome had a machine.
Oh, yeah.
Brother had just come out with their first machine.
Okay.
So that's what we had back then, these little tiny hoops.
Anybody comment what company that Lindy created way back when? And when did that company start?
1994.
1994. Somebody does know CompuServe. Roger is talking about that.
Yes.
Bulletin board systems. That's way back before my time, unfortunately. No, it was probably my time. I didn't have any access to it, so I didn't know much about it. But the company is almost Cactus Quilting. It was Diane Smith got it. It is Cactus Punch.
Yes.
It was like this amazing embroidery design collection on floppy disk. And you put it in your computer and you were able to bring up designs. And this was kind of, for us, like my brother Ken would know more about the starting of our connection together of carrying your product. But I know that we carried pretty much everything.
Oh yeah, you used to have a whole wall
A
of
whole
it.
wall of everything and then it came to a point where there was so many people making the product that you kind of got out of it at some point and sold it.
Well, I didn't get out of it. I sold it and then I got kicked out of it.
Okay. So can we say the company?
Sure.
Yeah. So she got so big that the Viking sewing machine company gave an offer, I'm guessing, and they took it and sold Cactus Punch to Viking.
Yeah, about that time, people were becoming more sophisticated because when we first started, a lot of sewers didn't know how to use computers. I mean, it was the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And I had been a computer programmer, so it was very comfortable for me. But as we got moved into the 2000s and so forth, more people got computers. They were online. Files and designs were everywhere, downloadable.
Yeah.
And it got harder and harder for a dealer like you to compete against the web.
Yeah. And I remember talking to you once about like how hard it was to stop people from copying and selling your stuff,
Yes.
like, or just giving it away, or like in especially other countries that would take it. And
wasn't just other countries.
No,
it was everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
We released a new collection one day, and 2 days later, I saw it on eBay.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I love the history of our industry, and I hope that you do as well. And Lindee Goodall is definitely a huge part of the history of embroidery. And I asked if she would maybe help show how embroidery digitizing is done. And we kind of discussed about Mylar. And I know that Mylar was something that I get a lot of people asking about, is the Mylar embroidery. So today, our special guest is going to show us some of digitizing, and I think we're even going to embroider out the project.
Yes.
And it's going to be something that you offered to let everybody download it for free.
That's right.
Which is way cool. And you'll talk about the other anatomy of it.
Yes, we're gonna start with hooping.
Okay.
Because every good project starts with hooping, and if you mess that up, nothing good is going to happen after that. Okay. It just gets worse.
I'm gonna.
And I've seen a lot of you guys hoop, and it's like, I just want to do this.
Yeah. So let's learn hooping. And I'm going to be the cameraman. So if you guys enjoy the cameraman skills, just know that that I'm your cameraman. If it's shaky, then it was Jer.
So first of all, we're just going to start with why some hooping techniques don't work. And I'll show you how I was taught to hoop in the very beginning. And they said, take your fabric, loosen up your hoop, put the fabric in there, put your hoop in, tighten the screw on the hoop, and then pull your fabric really tight because it has to be drum tight. Now I used a stretchy knit just so it's more visible what is happening here. And you can see those stripes aren't straight. If you pull on your fabric, even with a woven, the weave gets pulled off. Also, as you stretch your fabric in the hoop and then you embroider on it, when you take it out of the hoop, it's going to relax back and you'll get puckers. Now, another thing is that when you tighten the screw, it's only tightening the hoop down here at the bottom.
That is very interesting. Yeah.
So as I pull that closer together, it actually makes my fabric softer there. It's not redistributing the tension all the way around. It's only tightening it there and making the fabric looser there. So that's a bad idea. So what you should do, I'm using a piece of cutaway. This is a well-used piece of cutaway, so it's very soft at this point. I'm going to lay your fabric over it. And I'm going to, now the screw on this hoop is at the bottom. And this hoop has a little tiny arrow that points to the top. So check your hoops because they may look symmetrical, but they're probably not. So I like to push it in towards the top, and then I'm just going to smooth out the fabric and press it in. Now I was able to press that in with some tension. So that's pretty good. And look, it's actually pretty straight. You want to make sure that your stabilizer is hooped all the way around. You don't want just a strip across the back or a strip this way. And if I had to tighten the screw, I would pop that out and I would push it back in again. So now that I have this set for this stabilizer and this fabric, I don't need to touch the screw until I change one or the other. So I'm just going to pop it out and then hoop my next one when I'm ready to sew. Now, hooping is not easy. It's not fun. It does take practice. And there are tools that can help you get it placed right, because we only talked about getting the fabric in the hoop here. We're going to talk about getting it in the right spot. So there are tools like a hooping station. I think you'll have to zoom out a little bit here. This is the small one. This is called the echidna hooping station, and it's magnetic. And these magnets stick on there really well. And it's dual-sided. So you would use this side for sleeves, really thin things like, I don't know, really tiny tote bags. And this side you use for baby items, other tote bags. And the way it works, I've added some racing stripe material. I just got this at the automotive store, and I just stuck it on there. So I have a guide. And I'll use that to line up my hoop. And I'm actually going to switch to the bigger hooping station. And
Will I take the shirt off?
nope, we're going to use the shirt.
The big station here, we do have about 4 of them in stock. On the other small one, I think we're limited to what we have in stock right now.
So I love my hoop. These are my personal hooping stations. I brought them up here today because I've already marked mine up with the tape. And I like this hooping station because it's so easy to use. You don't have any little screws that you have to fiddle in. You're just using magnets. And you can see that it's sort of shoulder shaped if you have really straight square shoulders. And it's also dual-sided. So this is the adult shirt size. And if you flip it over, you can see that it's narrower. And this is the youth size on the other side. So it's dual-sided. And we do not have any more of these in stock. We sold the last ones to McQueen here. And so they have the last remaining ones. And we won't be getting any more in because shipping has gone up tremendously. And they come in on a container ship. And even if we had ordered them, they'd be sitting out there in the ocean.
Yep.
So on this one, I have marked where I like a left chest design to be for me. So what I'll do is I'll take my hoop and I'll just line it up there. And I'm just using some magnets to hold the hoop in place. And on my cutaway, and I'll use a couple magnets to hold that in place. I'll use this one. And then I could just take my shirt. This poor shirt has probably been hooped 200 times. It's a wonder it's not permanently marked. And I'll just line it up smooth it into place. And I would use a topping on this, but I don't have any toppings, so we'll just do it without. Make sure that I have my hoop into the top, kind of smooth my fabric into place, press my hoop in, and turns out that that tension was the right tension. So this is a knit too, and if I can push a wrinkle across it or pinch up a wrinkle, do it this way. It's called the pinch test. This is the snowplow test.
I've not heard of that. That's cool.
I learned that from Deborah Jones. I
Oh, yeah.
learned a lot of things from Deborah Jones. Then it's hooped securely. And you don't want to stretch your fabric. If I stretch this, it's going to have puckers. But it's smooth right now. And if I was worried about it shifting, I would have sprayed my stabilizer with an adhesive spray.
Yeah. So you don't adhere it all the time?
Uh-uh.
Only if it's necessary?
Only if it's, I tend to do it more on a sweatshirt because I'm usually doing a larger design on a sweatshirt. And that thick sweatshirt, I've seen like this wave surfing ahead of the presser foot, and it will shift things.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm more likely to do it on a larger design like that.
So when you see a shirt with puckering, it could be that it was the amount of tightness that the
Yes,
shirt was
or it
hooped.
could have been that it was floated.
Yeah.
A professional embroiderer will hoop between the rings whenever possible, whereas home embroiderers, they like to float a lot. And floating, it's not as the hoop is part of the stabilizing system. So you want to use the hoop whenever possible. Now it's not always possible. What if I wanted to hoop over that? I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to float that. Yeah. And another thing that can cause puckers is if your machine tensions are too tight, especially with polyester thread, because it'll pull the thread as it stitches, and then as you take it out of the machine, it starts to relax back and you get puckers.
What kind of thread?
Polyester. When I first started, rayon was pretty much the thread we used because polyester was pretty nasty stuff back then. But it's come a long way, and most everyone uses polyester now. So I'm going to switch back to the small hooping station because we're going to hoop one of these guys. And these make great gifts. And they can be hard to hoop. They can be hard to embroider. I turn them this way. You can see them a little bit better. So the neat thing is that these have a zippered butt, and you can take the guts out. And I've already taken the guts out of this one. I actually took the guts out of the head too, to make it easier to hoop. And these things are small and tight. The larger ones are easier to hoop. And what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to hoop sticky. Now, on a larger one, I will hoop with tearaway, but I tried this one earlier, and he's just, even though he's a moose, he's a real bear to hoop.
While you're doing that, I'm quickly asking Trish if she'll move this moose to our Lindy section of our event, because I was able to buy, I think, 60 some odd of them, and we still have about 20 or so left.
So
and they're on sale.
Hooping some tearaway stabilizer, and I'm having trouble getting the hoop to stay in. So I might just do this. I'm going to rip it off. I actually have a specialty hoop that I use with sticky paper. And it's just, it kind of looks like a license plate holder. Because I don't normally hoop this way, but I'm having trouble with this stabilizer. So I'm going to tighten up my hoop.
We have Lindy out of her zone at home and in our studio here in Mesa.
I'm just going to stick this to the back like this. Yeah, you get used to working in your own space with your own stuff. Grab some scissors here and get rid of this excess. We'll just put this on here like this. Now I'm going to hoop this sideways because this has got attached to the machine. And if I hoop it like this, with the moose on here like this, it's going to be hard to get this attached. So sometimes you'll find that you have to reorient your machine or your hoop. And of course, you'll have to reorient your design in your machine. Then I'm just going to pull this on. Like this. And smooth it into place. It does have a little dart there.
Part of the moose.
Yep. So now I'll take it to my machine and I'll hook it up there.
And it's all hooped.
And it's all hooped.
That is way cool. We do if we do run out of these, we will we'll come up with other ways to help you hoop. There's a company that we do have a few for multi-needle machines that they do make them for home machines as well.
And if you do have a multi-needle, I have a multi-needle and a Brother home machine, and I use both of these with it, both hoops.
Very good. So that is hooping 101. I mean,
Yes.
that's the fundamentals of embroidery. And so are we going to go to show the design?
Sure. Let's show the design.
So on our website, for anybody out there that is an embroiderer, this is a Mylar Christmas ornament that Lindy is going to show us how you created it.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll look at some of the Mylar snowmen. You want to show that snowman?
And it all started with these. I saw them on our website, and I'm like, oh, I think that it's the perfect time of year for ornaments and the Mylar idea. Sorry, it's hard to show them all, but these are available on the site on sale under the Lindee G section because it is called Lindee G's Designs. This one is on our website at no charge. You just have to check out, and it'll be the download will be given to you at that point.
So it is a 5x7 design, but it's in all available formats. And I also included it in the format that I digitized it in, which is Hatch 2. So if you have Hatch or Willcom software that will read that file format, you'll have that. And you'll also have this worksheet. And maybe you can hold the worksheet up there. And at the top there are some instructions. So you're going to see how to do it here. It's not hard, but on the worksheet that's included, it's a PDF. It will tell you all the basic steps you need to do. Now, I may need some help with this machine.
Okay.
I am not familiar with this machine.
So it does have the best needle threader, in my opinion, on the market.
Okay.
You actually had it there, and then you just cut it off, and then when you lower that lever, it shoots the
Nice.
thread through your needle. This is the first machine in the lineup of Brother that trims all your jump stitches.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That was something that we didn't have back in the day.
Yes. I didn't have much back in the day. So this is just felt hooped with tearaway. And I'm going to sew the first two colors in red so that you can see them. Normally you would sew them in white. It's just going to sew all the white and then all the red, and it makes it easy to sew that way. So how do I start this?
Have to lower the foot down, which is on the inside. Yep, there we go. So is this a placement stitch first, or?
So this will be a placement stitch.
Oh, look at that. The joys of somebody might not have threaded it correctly.
Yes, somebody being me.
Okay, so I'm just going to run it through real quick. Sorry about my back on the screen. Maybe Jared could go to singing a song or something, or doing his. Okay. Too late, Jared. You missed out on singing.
I was just bringing my microphone up to my face.
There we go.
I think what happened was the little thing was down here.
Okay.
Because the presser foot lifter was up or
So-
down or something.
Yep.
And Jer fixed it, and then I didn't finish.
Oh, go ahead and hit OK on the screen. It might ask you to get that cleared off. Perfect. So if it's okay that we blame Jer.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Good job, Jer.
So you can see the placement line, and I'm just using some Mylar, and it looks pink here, but it's this opalescent, and they have this on the website somewhere.
Yep, Purely Gates.
Comes in different colors.
If you've done applique before, if you don't mind to comment that you have done it, because it's so much fun. This is basically applique, right?
Basically, yeah.
I have actually not used Mylar, so it's kind of like using a topper almost. You just kind of have to cut enough of it to cover and then just hold it in place. You need
So I'm
some
just
better.
getting my little scissors here. Because at this point, we need to trim off the Mylar. Now, I have not found that you can actually tear this off without distorting everything in the hoop. So I'm just going, can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just cutting right up next to the stitches. And I'll hold it up as soon as I get done cutting. This one does have a satin stitch border around the edge. So if you're not perfectly close to the stitches, you're going to be okay. On some of the snowmen, you need to cut right up close to the edge. Now we need to switch to the white.
Go ahead and go to the main camera.
See if I can thread it right this time, since Jer's not over here for me to blame.
Oh, yeah. If you could thread the EU, you can thread that.
Oh, yeah. Well, the EU was kind of funky, wasn't it?
I don't know if we had this the last time while you're doing that. This embroidery machine, you had to use these cartridges. You couldn't really use a regular spool of thread.
And the thing with the cartridges was there's this little star spring in there. And so the tension changes as you get further down on the thread. So the tension got tighter the closer you got to the end of the reel.
Yeah,
So here's what it looks like trimmed.
I almost like it just like that. But it's going to get even better.
Of course. I don't want to stand in front of the machine here. Trim that thread up there.
Okay. Let's go ahead and just lower that down. This machine that we're using is brand new to the market. You could actually sit at your computer, wherever it is in your house, and say, I want to embroider this design out, and it will wirelessly send and populate on the machine.
Cool.
And 6 by, we're not even using the big hoop that it comes with because this design doesn't call for it, but it comes with a hoop that is 6 by 10.
We're not making this machine look very good. Oh, it caught on here.
That was the spool caps. I don't know if you guys at home have experienced the thread getting caught. I almost don't even use spool caps anymore.
Well, let's try it without the spool cap. I have a stand that puts the thread upright.
Yeah, that is actually a better way to go.
And I have a Brother Dream machine, and I've never actually sewn on it. It only does embroidery. What's the button I pushed? This one?
Yep, all the way down.
Did it go in?
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties. Okay, Jared, it's your turn to sing again.
While you guys do that, I'm going to go ahead and show everyone our website real quick for 2 seconds because someone's asking where to find the large hooping station. So, share my screen. All right, so you go to molequeen.com. This top left item right here is the live event specials. And we'll go ahead and click on the Lindy G embroidery. And you have the small hooping station right here, which is this right picture. And then this one down here is the large hooping station. It's not a 2-pack. You have to buy each one individually. But the picture that is there is that's the small and that's the large.
And there's the free embroidery design.
This is the embroidery design that we're stitching out right now. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing this.
And it definitely was that the thread got caught on the spool cap on top of the machine. So you guys, we did it on purpose to make sure that we could teach you that you got to make sure that the spool cap, the thread doesn't wrap on it. That's Jared's fault again because he left the spool cap on it.
No, I asked for the spool cap because the spool was sliding. And then he just went and got it for me.
Yeah, but it's okay to blame him.
I'm bullied here.
The original version of this machine didn't have the Wi-Fi, and we have sold so many of them. Oh, didn't go all the way through.
I don't have the touch, I guess.
Sorry. When you're
Try not to stand in front of the machine.
yeah, it just has. It wasn't tight there when you're threading this part of it. It just has to be kind of pulled tight to the side.
Okay. Press your foot down, press the go button.
Lynn Maynard is asking if anybody's tried to use the scan and cut to cut the Mylar out.
I wouldn't recommend pre-cutting the Mylar in this case because it's slippery, and I suppose you could cut it accurately enough and then use a spray to stick it in place. But I just think it'd be more difficult that way.
Yeah. It's such a fine, delicate,
Yeah,
that it might be hard to pull off. Karen, we're using the Brother NQ 1700, the brand new model. It is only $19.95, and it is the first machine in the lineup, like I said, that actually trims all your jump stitches, which is pretty amazing. The hoop slides in just like the top of the line. In fact, they are the same hoops that you the hoop from this machine will fit onto the Lumineer or the Dream machine. It's a nice machine for that travel to classes because you don't want to bring your big Lumineer to a a class every time when you don't really need everything that a luminaire can do in a class. We've sold a lot of these now that classes are starting up again. The 6x10 hoop size is pretty
That
amazing.
price is just like $200 more than what I paid for my poem.
Right? The difference of the two.
And we're talking $1994 versus dollars today.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that work out to?
That is true. I had somebody come and buy an electronic sewing machine, and then when I told him it was $599, he was like, "Oh my God!" In the '70s, when he bought this old Singer electronic, it was like almost $2,000. It is kind of neat how prices have kind of come down on machines, but the technology has gotten greater. Who loves to watch an embroidery machine embroider? I still, even after all this time, I'll still watch a machine do. I love the outlining part when it finalizes.
I grew up with it, and I mean, I'll sit there and just watch it because it's cool to just watch everything appear out of nowhere.
I watch it because I want to make sure that it's doing what I think it should do.
It's a very quiet machine. It is one that we are allowed to ship anywhere in the country. It has a 2-year warranty on anything compared to others that have a 1-year warranty. There is no other machine really on the market in this category for this price point. But it is an amazing machine. I'm sure that somebody out there must have the original 1600. If you do, let us know how you like your machine. This is the all-new 1700. And the cool thing is, shortly, Lindy's going to show us on the computer a little bit about creating this.
Yes, the 1700 only does embroidery, but you can purchase the 36 or the 3700, which is the same exact machine except it does embroidery and sewing, but it also comes with Disney as well.
Carol has the 1600. She just commented. Oh, so does Lynn Harvard has it as well. The 1600 is the original version of this. It's, well, I guess it originally was a 1400. It didn't trim the stitches, and then they came out with the 1600, where it started trimming the stitches. And now this beautiful model, it trims all your jump stitches, and it has the Wi-Fi. In fact, I'm going to bring it out just a little bit to see the whole machine. I'll have to later today show you some of the other fun things of the screen that you can do on the screen of this machine. So I was talking to Lindy the other day, and I was saying could we do the snowman? And I see that it would be a lot more stitch intensive on those snowman ornaments.
Yes.
This one is perfect.
Now, some of the snowman ornaments are 13,000 stitches. And this one stitches fast. We don't have to change a lot of threads, and we can still get the same thing going on.
I just want to also say that we only have the snowman right now on our website, that ornament collection, and then this free one. But Lindy does have other designs on her website. It's Lindee Embroidery.com.
So I didn't pull this gray for the top color, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew that in red since we have that on there. You could do this in metallic silver or metallic gold. It would be really pretty.
Yeah, for the topper. So when you're buying a Lindy G design, that it's going to be digitized well because of the history and her knowledge of digitizing. So I'm excited to see you work with creating this design.
Thanks. I wouldn't put out something I would be embarrassed to have somebody sew.
Yeah, it's got to be flawless and cute. Nice. The software that Lindy's going to use later, we're using software, but it's kind of non-brand specific kind of ideas, which is going to be kind of cool. So no matter what software you might have.
If you have a current digitizing program, you should be able to do what I'm doing in here.
Yeah. And as you know, my brother Ken is also pretty good at digitizing. So if you have questions on what Lindy is talking about, we can either help you get a hold of Lindy, or you can come in and ask Ken Mulqueen. He's not the nicer of the brothers. That is me, but he is the one that knows how to digitize really well.
Okay, so there's one more step we have to do, and that is to put the back on, because we don't see any stitches on the back. And you don't want to see any stitches on the back of these ornaments either.
Huh.
And while we have the camera going here, some of them have fringe on the top.
I like
so
that.
I've got the Mylar on the face and then the fringe. So I've only done the Mylar around the snow areas on the snowmen. So you need to take this off the machine. Why don't you thread up the white
Okay.
while I do this part?
And I'm going to do something they say not to do. They say trim it off and cut it, pull it forward.
I was doing that.
Yeah. I like to do it the other way just to see if I can
Mess up the machine.
mess it up, because we have the text in the back. And just so you know, we do have three full-time techs on high-end machines at this location. And then one full-time tech who has worked with us for over 40 years.
Oh, he's seen things change a lot, hasn't he?
Yep.
So the next step is to just take a piece of felt, and it's kind of white on white here. So it's just a larger piece. See if I hold it out
Move
here
to that other
somewhere.
camera.
You can see that it's just
Oh,
larger.
that's the chair. Look how cute he is.
And I'm just going to lay that over that. And I don't even spray it on, because a flatbed machine like this, it'll just stay in place. Make sure that it didn't rumple up when I put it on there. Put the pressure foot down and press start. And I think what I did was I programmed in a stop button or stop position in there. So that's why I did that little dance thing there.
That's a nice little add-on to your design.
So on the snowman, what I did was when I placed the felt on the back, I also placed the ribbon. So you might be able to see the thread tail in there. But you just put the thread tail, the loop of thread on there, and tape it down, and then put your felt on and sew it down. Now, if you're going to use a thin cord, the stitches are probably not going to catch a thin cord very well. So what you might do is tie a little overhand knot in those cords. So if you're going to use like a gold cord or something, then it would keep it from pulling out.
Joyce Klinkert is thinking about getting a smaller machine for classes. So this machine is a lot smaller than the Dream or the Lumineer, and it's easy to carry.
So we're all done. You can see the sparkle, even on the camera. And now all I need to do is to cut out around the edge, and to cut the hole in the hanger, I used a leather hole punch, but you can also use an eyelet tool.
Yeah.
And what you would do here is tear off the stabilizer right up next to that stitching line. So you're just going to go around and tear that off before you do any cutting. And that way, your stabilizer won't be exposed when you trim around the outside edge.
Perfect.
So what you saw was we did a placement line, then we laid down our Mylar, then we did a tack down line, so it's part of an applique. And then I just didn't do the satin stitch for the applique. Then I did the rest of the decorative stitching. Then I did the satin stitching around the edge. So it's partial applique. And then before that last color sews, I place that other piece underneath, and then I do an outline around the edge. And that outline does not have to be outside of the design. On a satin design like this, a lot of times you'll see a satin that runs down the center of satin. I just didn't do it on this design.
That is awesome. Somebody had asked if you were one of the teachers at our Southwest Embroidery Conference, and unfortunately, I didn't even think of that. I know you were there last one in 2019. We'll have to work on either just doing a standalone class or be part of our next one that we have for next year.
I do teach digitizing, but I just don't teach the same software they use.
Yeah. So people are liking that. They think the snowmen are cute. They like that free design. I've seen a lot of comments where they can't wait to sew it out. A lot of comments about the 1600, the model machine before this. One of our favorite retired for now employees, but hopefully Jackie Lely will be around again. She has the Dream and the 1600, and she said it's great to take to class.
Who are new embroiderers?
Are there any new embroiderers out there? Anybody out there that doesn't embroider at all, that is nice enough to still watch us?
Who has an embroidery machine they haven't used yet?
The one gal is asking, what software does Lindy use? And she is using Hatch software. Her website is Lindy G Embroidery, not plural, just Lindy G Embroidery. And you have links to your classes on there, I would imagine?
No, because, well, I have a link to my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I do some things for YouTube, but I do almost all of I've done all of the classes for the Hatch Academy. And that is, there's a free area, and you don't even have to have Hatch to check out the free designs or the free area. And then there's a paid area that's a premium, and we have, I don't know, I think we're coming up on 400 videos in there. Right. And I've done them all.
Oh, wow.
So I keep pretty busy doing that.
A lot of videos. Yep. And we still offer software. Software is software to a certain extent. Like they do running stitches and column stitches and fill stitches.
They all have a core of things that they all do. And then every package, it's like pizzas. Every pizza has some kind of special topping that another one doesn't have. And if you put them all on one, it would just be too much.
Right. So are you gonna talk about the
Want to talk about the books?
Yeah, I'm very excited about these books. Because I know that we've had them for a while, and your knowledge, if you would ever want all of the knowledge that's inside Lindy on the recipe of embroidery.
If you want to do a mind meld, this is it. This is it. When I first got my little poem, there wasn't anybody around that could teach me how to do anything. And I had to figure it out on my own. And there were a handful of us on CompuServe, and we would ask each other questions. And some of the ways we came up of doing things were wrong, but they worked on that little tiny machine. But as I got a new machine that had, a big jacket back hoop, those things didn't work anymore. And I finally found a conference I could go to where commercial embroiderers were speaking, and I learned a whole lot of things. So this book, and this is a printed version, it's a digital version, it's a PDF. And it's, you know, it could be full color if you printed it in full color. But I like PDF books. And the reason I like a PDF book is that I can search for things. And I can say tension, and it'll show me all the places in the document that have tension. It's better than having an index with your book. So everything that I've learned about hooping and stabilizing and threads and needles and all of that stuff is in this book. And I have a business friend in Australia. He packages one of these with every embroidery machine they sell. And I'm trying to talk these guys into doing that. So if you think that's a good idea, let us know.
Yep. And the cool thing is you're allowing us to do some early Black Friday pricing, and it is on our website if you wanted to buy the download of that book. So if I wanted to know your technique of hooping or stabilizing,
So it has a list of recommended stabilizers. There are troubleshooting charts in there. Why do I get puckers? How do I avoid puckers?
so it's everything
Yes.
you can imagine.
And it's not about your machine. Your sewing machine comes with a manual on how to operate it. It doesn't come with the manual that tells you how to do embroidery good. And that's what this is.
Ramona Baird is saying that this book is incredible. Lindy literally did a brain dump of her knowledge. Thank you for sharing
Thanks,
that.
Ramona. I'll pay you later.
Yeah, but that is, it's what this is about, is sharing. I know I've heard from people in the industry, in the commercial side, where they never shared because it's their family business.
Yes, family secrets.
Yeah, so they didn't want anybody to know how to digitize to be able to do this for themselves. But the cool thing is, in the home side, if somebody is an expert like Lindy, the whole idea is to share, which is kind of cool.
And speaking of learning to digitize, if you watch enough designs sew out, you get a good idea of how they're constructed. That might not be the way we initially went about it because we had to switch things around, but you know exactly what we did. You may not know why, but a lot of times, once you get to a certain level, you can just go buy a design that looks like the kind of technique you want to have. And you watch it run. You might not even watch it run on a sewing machine. You might watch it run in your software. And you can figure out, okay, so those are the kind of stitches they're using. That's the spacing they're using. And you can figure out a lot of things that way. Now, if you're a relatively new embroiderer, you've probably found that some designs work well in some situations and not in other ones. And this book is called Anatomy of a Design. And this was actually my third book I wrote. The first two are no longer in print, but these two are still current. And this one teaches you what's going on under the hood of a design. I used to teach a 3-day digitizing class. It's called Digitizing 101. I did not teach any particular software. People came and sat and they learned theory for 3 days, and we did some paperwork. But what people usually said was, now I know why designs are so expensive, and now I know I never want to learn to digitize it because it's way too hard. But I learned what goes into a design, and now I know why some designs work and some designs don't. So if you are more of an intermediate embroiderer and you have some experience embroidering, then you might want to get this book because it teaches you about why did we use underlay? Why does it look funny on the screen, but when it sews out, all the outlines match up? That's the kind of things that are here. So it's not really digitizing per se, but it's all those concepts that help you understand why a design is built a certain way.
Yep. So you have
it's also a PDF.
PDF, so you can search. It's searchable, and or you can print it out and have your own, or both. You can print it out and then still search.
Yep.
So you know what page your questions are on. So I love to read the comments, and Lynn Maynard just purchased your fonts from your website. Yeah,
Nice.
I noticed on your site you have a lot of fonts.
Yes.
And I still am like not, the fonts are for anybody, but
There are 3 types of fonts.
yeah.
There are the original BX fonts, and they're in the alphabet section, I think. And these are stitch file fonts only. And they only come in BX and DST. And people say, well, I need it in PS. No, you don't, because if I put it in PS, each letter is going to be an individual design and you have to string them together. A BX format is something that Embroiderers came up with, and they have free software, and you can load that font in there. It's just an alphabet file, and then you can just type. So you just pick your font from the drop-down menu, and then you can type. Now, a new kind of BX that I have are the object types, and these were actually redigitized in Embroiderers. So I have the other fonts that were all digitized in my old commercial software that I'd been digitizing for years and years and years. And then we have the new BX that are object-based, and they're only one size. And the nice thing about that is if you have Embroiderers, you can resize those more than the stitch file versions. The stitch file versions are fixed sizes, and you can resize them, but they don't work as well resized. I don't have any control over that. The third type of font I have are called ESA fonts. And these are the ones for the people that have Wilcom compatible software. And they were all digitized in the professional version of Wilcom. And they will work with Hatch 2 and newer, and Wilcom Embroidery Studio 4.1 and newer. And they're also object-based. So when you have an object-based alphabet, you can change the underlay, you can change the compensation, you can change all sorts of things about it. And in the Hatch software, you can change the outlines. And I think I've got it set up so you can do that in Embroiderers if you have the right level of software, but I'm too hazy about that. I can digitize fonts in Embroiderers. That's about all I could do.
So if anybody is interested in software, email Jarrett Mulqueen, because he can get you the special pricing. We do have a special going on software that we're not allowed to price, unfortunately, online. So it's something that you do have to just email jarrett@mulqueen.com about software. And there are a couple of new embroiderers out there. Welcome to the world of embroidery. Hopefully you'll sign up for our 3-day seminar, the Southwest Embroidery Conference.
There's only 3 seats left.
There's only 3 seats left. So we
Oh,
had
my.
7 last night. And we're actually doing it smaller than what we normally do. So it's 100 people, actually 96 people in each group. So the first group of 96 is sold out. The second group, it sounds like there's 93 people signed up. And we're going to do as much safety as we can to get all those people together in a room. So if you're out there and you want the safety portion, that's something that we are doing for this event. And it's at a hotel up the road. It's too big for our store. So it's at the Delta by Marriott in downtown Mesa. Dolores Angus is fairly new. If anybody is new and you have questions on what type of stabilizer or how to hoop, the books are, and even if you're not new, I mean, I don't know how many Floriani with Walter Floriani speaking, doing the actual lecture, and Trevor, and how many times I've sat through events with people talking about stabilizer, and I still question sometimes what stabilizer is the right stabilizer. So even if you've seen a lot, the books will still be helpful.
The thing with stabilizers is there's not a rule. It's a guideline. And it all depends.
There's still some variations of
Yes.
when you might change it up. So if you're interested in those books, they are download PDFs from our website, mulqueen.com. Under the event section, click on Lindy G, and you'll see the hooping stations, the 2 books, and the snowman ornaments, and the free ornament. And so is this the exciting point where you actually will discuss how you digitize the Mylar?
Sure.
Yeah.
We can
Awesome.
do that.
So I think Jer might be set up for the computer. Look at It's there on the computer. I love watching Digitizing. This is where all the magic happens.
You know, everybody has their own way of digitizing, and it kind of depends on what you're going to do. Those snowman designs, those were just line art images. They weren't even filled in. And I thought I'd copied them this computer, but it must have still been on OneDrive or something, because I just set up this computer the other day. I'm normally a Mac person, and I normally work on a big desktop computer with 2 big monitors. So I'm sitting here in front of this PC laptop.
Yeah, what happened? Why do you have to?
Well, you know, can only bring so much stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen you with a PC.
No, and you know, when I'm on a PC, it's kind of like going to Europe and driving on the other side of the road. I just get confused. So here's our ornament that we saw stitch. And we can take a look at it in the stitch player, but I'm just going to look at it over here in the colors tab. And that first color block there is the placement line. Then we have our tack down. Then we have all our decorative bits. And then I have another stop, and that's just an applique stop that I've programmed in there so that I know to place the back fabric in it. So that's the formula I use. Now, the other thing to know about making a design with Mylar is the fills have to be light density, and they can't have any underlay or travel stitches. So let's create a new design. And I'll just go to the Digitize toolbox and standard shapes, and I'll just pick a shape. I have some extra shapes in here that I've created, and hopefully they transferred. Good, there they are. And I'll just pick an ornament shape down here. Oh, this is the wrong one. This is cookie cutter. I want Christmas ornaments. I'm going to hold down the control key to constrain the size. And there I have an object. It's filled. And I'm going to change it to an outline. I could just do this manually with outlines, but I think I'm just going to change this to an applique right now. So I have a convert to applique. It will convert any closed shape to an applique. And then I want to change some of the attributes on this. And we do that on the properties stalker here. I'm going to turn off the cover stitch, set that to none. And instead of having a zigzag tack here, I'm going to have a single run. And I'm going to change that single run stitch length to 1.5. And the reason I'm doing that is I just want to perforate that Mylar a bit more, because the tack down stitch is what's going to attach that Mylar, and then I need to trim it back. So the next step is to fill in this area. And I'm going to duplicate that. I'll break it apart. And break apart just takes away the applique objects. You can see over here, this is a special type of object in Hatch, and it has special properties. But if I break it apart, I lose all of those. And let's see, where's the delete key on this keyboard? There it is. So I'm going to change this back to a fill. I'm going to change it to a tatami. And I'm going to change the spacing to 1.2. And I'm also going to go to the stitching tab and turn off the underlay. And come back here. Now, I don't know if you noticed this. There's a little box here called Travel on Edge. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to turn off True View because it'll be easier to see. And we'll select that again, and I'm going to turn off. I'm going to uncheck Travel on Edge. Can you see these stitches zigzagging through here? These are called travel stitches. And we normally have that in a design under a fill or sometimes under a satin. And that's going to look yucky on our Mylar. So this software has a feature to travel on edge. And most software today, most advanced software does have that feature. And it keeps it all nice and neat. One thing I did on the snowman was I did a Florentine effect. It's sort of a curved fill. I'm going to press H, and that just activates reshape. And so I can change it so that it looks like the stitches are curving around the edge. I did that on the snowman faces. You also see it on the snowman cheeks. Now I probably want a border on this, so I'll duplicate that again, change it back to an outline, change it to a satin, and maybe I'll make it wider, 3.5. Now if you want to put it back on it, you can use one of the tools, the layout tools, but if you want to just put it down the center, because a lot of people like to put it down the center, I'll just duplicate that again, Control D, change it to a triple run, and maybe change it to white. And if I want to put a hanger on the top, I can just go over here to the Digitize toolbox and make a circle. And we'll change that to a satin and maybe make it pink. And I'll move it behind this. So the secret here is having a placement line, a tack down line, attachment line, and a light fill with no trebles in there. Now you could also have this be a motif. So the more open your motif, the more your Mylar is going to show through. When we did that 1.2 density spacing on the Tommy, it just kind of adds a little sparkle. So it makes your design look like metallic when it really isn't. The 1.2 is not a hard fixed value. Some people like less spacing, some people like more, and it kind of depends on your shape. So for example, if I do a contour fill on this, you can see how it gets kind of bunchy in here. So I might open that up even more. And I'm going to have more of my Mylar showing through here. So do we have any questions? Does anyone need me to review anything? It's really simple to work with Mylar. One reason we can't take a design and enlarge it, and this is what we used to do back in the mid-90s. Our software wasn't that sophisticated about resizing. And so when you resize the design, it just spread out all the stitches and made them longer. And I did this a couple times with a fish. It had this bass that looked like it was leaping out of the water. And back then, we didn't have Mylar like this. We used party balloons. And so you'd put a party balloon under there, and it would sparkle through. But you still had all your underlay and your travel stitches. So if you look really closely, it didn't look as nice. So the secret here is recreating that fill area, not just taking a design and thinking, oh, I'll just reduce the density on this one area and I can have Mylar.
I think when it's also less dense, they sew out faster.
Yes.
And so I think that
and they're less
kind of
likely to mess up your fabric and cause puckering. And
I think as time goes on with embroidery, we still like a normal, dense, normal, full stitched design, but applique is becoming so popular because it can get you a nice finished project so much faster and a lot less stitching. Same with the Mylar, and then it gives you, like you were saying, the metallic effect without spending $15 a cone for metallic thread. Although you do have to buy Mylar, but that is a cool effect.
When you're making ornaments like this, those sheets of Mylar go a long, long way.
And I like how with software today, you have all those pre-shapes. And this is the first time seeing this particular software, but you can see the similarities of other software. If you guys out there have software, you probably see that they're kind of similar. You just have to learn different icons and different ways of doing the same effect. But it's definitely impressive to see what I was saying or getting at there. I'm sorry, is that how you started with a fully stitched item, so you didn't even have to copy anything to get that shape. And
Yeah.
So that is kind of nice.
That's what's nice about having those shapes. I mean, I made a lot of cookie cutter shapes because I've done appliques with the cookie cutters and these ornaments. I went nuts creating ornament shapes like this. But you can create your own shapes in this software and save those. And you can probably do it in other programs as well.
What is your favorite thing to digitize, or do you have anything
I
that?
like to digitize lace.
Oh yeah.
And I like to digitize breadwork. And the challenge there is usually those are all one color. And the challenge is in pathing so that you don't have any jump stitches. And actually the Mylar works well with lace too. So you can hoop your wash away, put your Mylar on top and do all the stitching, and both sides of the stitching hold that Mylar in place, and you have a sparkly
Oh, that's nice.
lace ornament too.
When you are doing your red work stuff, are you tracing or copying over a background image?
Yes.
It's not just free.
No. I haven't got all my stuff on this computer,
Yeah.
but on this one, what you would be doing is you'd bring in some artwork, and they have some artwork that they've included. And let's see, one of these has a red work design in it.
I remember a long time ago having a red work drawing of a train coming out of a train station
Mm-hmm.
and embroidering it on leather with black thread, and it just looked like it was burnt into the leather. There's red work.
Yep. So this one does have auto digitizing. And you can auto digitize stuff. I don't use auto digitizing because I'd already been digitizing for 25 years when I got this software. And the only reason I switched to this software was that the software I had and loved for all that time was no longer being updated. So it wasn't going to run on the new operating system that I needed to upgrade to.
Yeah.
And John Deere, who is a friend, said, why don't you try Hatch? It has a 30-day trial. So you can try out everything for free for 30 days. So you can even actually make designs in it and save them. And I thought, oh, it runs on Windows. I'm not going to like it, but I'll try it so that I can tell him why I don't like it. And the more I played with it, I thought, oh, my software doesn't do that. My software didn't do that. So I switched.
Yeah.
And then a year or so later, I bought the professional version because I wanted to make fonts.
So that's a multicolor red work
Yes.
kind of design. That would be kind of fun to create a red work design, but have it alternate colors throughout it.
So if we do, I think click to outline, you click the center line.
And Jolene Brown is asking that she would love to learn to digitize. Do we have classes? We do. We have a gal named Kay Corman who does the Floriani software classes. And there is learning to digitize there as well.
So see, I'm doing the click to outline thing. And all I have to do is click on the areas that I want it to put stitches on.
Oh, is that a drawing that we were looking at originally?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is that a bean stitch, or what kind of stitch is that?
It's a single run. If I wanted to change them all to a triple run, I could do that. Or I could change them to a back stitch. And I could even change them to a satin stitch.
I know Trevor Conquergood uses the Floriani software, which is PC based, but he puts it on his Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought of doing that with this?
I have it on my Mac, on my
Okay.
desktop Mac.
Okay.
But my laptop Mac doesn't have a full-size keyboard.
Oh.
And so it doesn't have the numeric keypad and the delete key that this software uses all the time. You have to do some kind of funky function thing.
Oh, okay.
And
You just thought it was easier to just.
and this one has a full-size keyboard.
Yeah. Does anybody out there have any questions while we have the wonderful Lindee Goodall here about anything? When you guys were doing Cactus Punch, I have a question about packaging and that, because I know that you were selling them to dealers all across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? I guess you had your own building and you had a crew that helped you.
Yeah,
do
we
all
had a
that.
crew and they would burn the CDs, but we had the packaging printed at a printer. We didn't print it in-house. And then we took it to a sheltered workshop and they assembled all the packaging elements so that when the girls in the back that burned the CDs, all they had to do was burn the CDs and then drop it in the package and seal it.
And then ship it off.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in, can anybody guess where Lindee Goodall, where her building was for Cactus Punch? That's a question for you guys. If you know that, go ahead and comment. And if anybody has any questions on digitizing or anything, go ahead and comment there. Thank you for coming in. It's been enjoyable. I know that the comments show that they enjoyed it as well.
Good.
So it wasn't only me.
Good.
I love.
Just give me a little more notice next time.
All right. This has only been a few days, so I do appreciate you taking us up on this offer in such short time. Can you show how to take an object, digitize it, and then add an outline of another color around it?
Sure.
And Ramona is correct. Oh, somebody else already had it. Kathy Franz. Cactus Punch was based in Tucson, Arizona.
Ramona should know. She worked there.
Oh, did she? Oh, okay. That's cool.
Ramona was my project coordinator, and she was like, you know, the sister you have from another mother, that's
yes.
Ramona.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Is she still there in Tucson?
No, she lives in this area.
Oh, does she? Oh, okay.
So let's see. Let's go to the public embroidery. And I'm not sure what all files actually transferred this to computer. And it's looking like nothing transferred. I have folders with no contents.
We do thank you for all of your comments. It sure helps. So even like Kathy is saying that she doesn't embroider or doesn't digitize, she embroiders. But so even any kind of comment we just love. Thank you.
So if I want to put an outline on this, like I did on the icicle, I'll go to the Create Layouts toolbox and do Create Outlines and Offsets. And here I can put an outline on it, or I could put an offset. And I was just using an offset of 1 millimeter. And this will put it in a red. And there it is. And because I only selected this object, let me redo that. I'll select both of those objects.
That and the circle?
Yep. Oh, I'll select it over here. And create outlines and offsets. Create an offset. And sometimes what I do is I will put in a value of 1 and then I'll put something like 5 in there. And I'll put 5 outlines on there and I can figure out which one I like the best. And then I can just delete the ones I don't want. So did that answer your question?
Many of the functions you can do, most software programs, hatches on steroids, where the Brilliance and Floriani P Design are made for home digitized. Lynn has all of the softwares. Yeah, that, you know, every software has its kind of like cool functionality. And so a lot of people do have multiple softwares. just because some have like kind of excel in one area versus another area.
Hmm.
Some people collect cars and collect machines. Some people collect software.
I remember when I used to teach Digitizing 101, there'd be people that had 3 programs and they didn't know how to use any of them. And the thing is, if you want to learn to digitize, you need to sit down with the manual. You need to sit down. Well, now we have YouTube. You can find tutorials on just about anything. But you need to learn what the tools do. You need to learn how a design is made. And anatomy of design will teach you about why we do underlay and why we have compensation and that sort of thing. But there are no rules about it. There are guidelines, and there's some people that say there are rules, but they're really just guidelines. And a lot of it is what you want to do. You interpret the image any way you want to. That design that I did here, that one that was in the library that I just put stitches on, I could make these flowers into appliques and make the ladybug into appliques, and I could put fills on here instead of outlines, but I would have manually digitized all of that stuff. I would have used the tools in the this box and made a shape. So I would have just gone around here like this, and you're just clicking. And if I just want one petal, I'll do something like that. But it takes practice and consistency, and you're not going to learn any software. It's like learning a language. You have to practice that at a regular basis. You can't just spend all day one Saturday once a month, because then all you're doing is figuring out what you forgot since last month.
I do feel that people really enjoyed that. It looks like there was some very nice comments there.
Great.
I wish they were bigger so that you could read them as well, because you have to kind of get way up on the TV screen. But a lot of people like the presentation. Can the second color be made into a satin stitch? And I think you just explained that you can change any stitch into satin or run or.
Well, it depends. We have 2 types of objects. And this is pretty much true in any software. You have a closed shape, which is what we think of as a shape, and we have an outline or a line, an open shape. And an open, it's kind of like the difference between a rubber band and a piece of string. A rubber band is a closed shape, and it can be a fill, or it can have an outline on it. So for example, my ornament is a closed shape. It's continuous all the way around. So it can be a fill or it can be an outline. But if I have just a line, an open shape, it can't be a fill. It can only be, whoops. It can only be a certain type of stitch. It can only be an outline stitch. So it could be a single run. It can be a satin. We have a 3D satin. 3D satin puts extra underlay on there to kind of look like puffy foam. Stem stitch, motif. So different types of stitch containers can hold different types of stitches.
If you guys would like further information about digitizing with Lindy, make sure you email us and say, set up a class, or I'm sure we could do a Zoom class or something.
Yeah, we could do something.
If people are interested in doing something like that. If Jared wouldn't mind to go back to the website real quick, just to show where the books are, because I think it's important to show how easy it is to find the anatomy of a design if you're wondering about what a design is made of, and kind of a nutshell of what Lindy just showed, or the embroidery recipe to show or to teach like everything about the hooping and everything about the way embroidery. It's the complete recipe of putting an embroidery on something, basically. And so it is basically just at molqueen.com, and then click on the special events tab on the home page, and click the Lindy G category, and you'll see the hooping stations. The moose is now there, so the moose is on sale. It, I think it's actually an elk, but we like to call him moose. He is one of the embroider buddies, and I do know that they're usually around $25-ish to $30, which we just were able to get a special on this one cute character. And don't forget to download your free embroidery design, the Mylar Christmas ornament. And want to come over here and we'll
Sure.
See if there's any last questions. And I think that we are to the end of our segment. This is my least favorite part, is having to say goodbye. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Lindy, for taking us up on the short announcement. I think it was just, Thursday or Wednesday. And you were like, okay, I'll come down. That is awesome. And next month, hey, Jared, will you put it on you? Switch the camera to you. There is a quilt behind Jared. Finally, Jared. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you bending over? There you are.
Hiding so they can see the quilt.
Oh, yeah. So could you tell us a little bit about that quilt, Lindy?
Sure. This is a Southwest applique quilt, and there are 5 appliques in there. And when I digitized this, it was quite a while ago, and it was originally done at the request of Dalco, and they put together kits where you could get all the applique fabrics. And I designed it in Adobe Illustrator, and when I started to stitch it out, I thought, what was I thinking? Those tiny half square triangles. So I ended up digitizing the half square triangles, and they're done in the hoop too.
Oh, nice.
So you can just do a hoop full of half square triangles and slice them up and then sew them together.
So the exciting thing is, originally I had worked out with Lindy to join us on the 3rd Saturday of December, and John Deere had to do an emergency flight, so he wasn't going to be around to discuss and join us live. And so Lindy was wonderful enough to join us today, but she is still scheduled for the next 3rd Saturday of December, and we're going to work on that quilt. Is that right?
That's right.
That is exciting. So quilting in the hoop has always been popular, and I know that I'm sure you have some really neat ways of
this is actually
that.
not quilted in the hoop. This
No?
is long arm quilted.
Oh, okay. The piecing, though? Is
The piecing, the half square triangles were pieced in the hoop, but overall it's pieced. I mean, this was done in 2006, something like that. We didn't have the humongous machines that we have today. So it was all based on an older technology. So pretty much anybody can do this. It is long arm quilted. When I long arm quilt, I quilt by check, but I know you guys have all these amazing machines.
Yeah.
And Bill keeps saying, I'm so glad we don't live closer to Mulqueen because we'd probably have one of those machines.
Well, we can deliver to Tucson.
And by the way, if you've never been in this store, this is like Toys R Us for adults. I mean, as a sewing person, this has everything. It is an amazing store.
Well, thank you. So make sure you join us on your phone. Put a little reminder for the 3rd Saturday that Lindy will be back with us to show us her techniques on making that glorious quilt behind Jer and the appliques, really, right? And we'll have some specials, and take advantage of Lindy's downloads that we have on our site, because those are some sale prices. The sale price on the snowman as well. And
This worked out well because otherwise they wouldn't have time to make these for Christmas.
right, yep.
So they have plenty. You have plenty of time to make these ornaments. They work well in a greeting card, as a package tie. You can hang them on your lights.
So with that, I do thank you. Yeah, he's the wrong direction, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the wrong direction.
So if you have any questions for Lindy,
Still
you can
wants
go to lindeeembroidery.com. You can always email jer@mulqueen if you're interested in learning more about software and different specials that we have. And with that, we're going to take a few minute break, and then we'll come back. We're going to play some games. We're going to do some stocking stuffer ideas, and we're going to talk more about a special Serger project that I'm hoping that my brother Ken will be doing today. And I know the store is busy out there. The store is open for business. And make sure if you're on YouTube to hit that subscribe button, please. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We're going to give away an amazing prize once we hit that number. But it's more important when you subscribe that you hit the bell for notifications. That way you know when we go live. And if you're on Facebook, you can join our social group there. It's called Mulqueen Social. There's a lot of people that ask questions, and other attendees, not attendees, but people that are in the group, they answer the questions. So it's kind of like just a small community of about 3,000 or so people. So join our Mulqueen Social group. With that, Lindy, thank you again.
Thanks
Until
for inviting me.
the
Till
third
next
Saturday of next month. Yep. So we'll be right back in about 5 or 10 minutes. we're back for some more fun. And I hope my microphone is on. Can you see my levels, Chair? Just want to make sure. Yep, look at that. Perfect. We are dancing around here. I wanted to show you the Brother 1600, actually 1700, real quick. I just want to show you some of the screen functionality. So Jared's going to switch over to the beautiful camera over here. So that is the home screen. There is Jared with his unicorn. Oh wait. So this is what it does all the time to just cycle through. I love the simplicity of this. It's asking me, do we want to recall? If I hit yes or okay, then it's going to bring up what we were just working on with Lindy. So just know that if you're ever embroidering something and you need to go to sleep or whatever, you can just turn off the machine and come back and it'll pick up right where you left off. You have a couple of categories of designs. So there's a number of florally designs, and here it says page 1 of 18. So there is a scroll left or right on the bottom that I just choose. I'm going to back out the camera just a little bit so you can see that. This is to scroll across through the designs. And if I do choose something, I can choose whatever I want. I can keep selecting through. Like this one is kind of neat. So if I want to embroider that one, I just hit set. Now I can move this wherever I want it. It's totally touchscreen, which is amazing. And then I can hit add. And I can add another design if I wanted to. You can keep adding on your screen as many designs as you want. Like if there was a reason for having all of these on the screen. So it doesn't matter how many you decide to put on there. But for this, I'm just going to delete that. So whatever you touch, it's going to put the box back around it. So I can highlight it and hit delete to get it off of there. But if I add lettering, you have a few fonts to choose from that are built in. And the way Brother works is if you choose your first font, then you can choose the size of all of your fonts after that point. And you do have to scroll backwards to get to the lowercase. You can actually go forward through it. So I'm just going to do, that's how you spell Jer. And so now I can grab my lettering. If I want to move my palm trees down, I can move those down. Go back to my lettering. I can hit my letter and hit font edit. That's something that people have a fun time with, arching your lettering, which is amazing. You can do another arch on the bottom if you wanted to. And so that's as easy as it is on this machine. You can hit embroidery and then it grouped everything together at that point. The dot in the middle centers everything. I can save it into the pocket on the machine if I like, the combination that I did, and then retrieve it down the road. I can go in here. I think that is to make it one color. But once I get to embroidery, it's telling me now the name of the color. You do have a page button down below that I can go through and choose a brand of color. So it doesn't have all of the brands, so I usually like just going with name of color. You can change the stitch speed. There's other adjustments in there. And so name of color would be Robeson Anton. It'll have the color number, where if you choose name of color, then it doesn't matter what brand of thread you use. You can use any brand at all. So I just wanted to show you that. It is totally set up for Wi-Fi. So when you're at your computer, you can wirelessly send the design to the machine. This is actually a newer thing for Brother machines. this return arrow. Not that I'm spelling anything properly, I just wanted to get some letters on the screen. And then when I hit OK here, it stacks your letters so it's all perfectly centered. So if you're going to do a recipe or a saying, you can have everything justified center, which it's not hard to get the second line of lettering lined up with the first line. It's hard to get that third line to be as far as spacing goes. But with this machine, you don't have to worry about that. You have the return arrow in the lettering. And with that,
Someone wants to know what size hoops are included with the purchase of this machine.
the 1700 comes with the 6x10, which I don't have one here right now, unfortunately, but it also comes with the 5x7. So the 5x7 worked perfectly for the project that we did earlier with the Christmas ornament, but you can do the 6x10 to do bigger designs. 6x10 really, I don't know if you've been to an embroidery class that required a larger hoop than 6x10. It is not, usually they're not that big for an embroidery class. And so that is that machine. It's perfect for classes. I know people like it for travel. It's a great machine to put in an RV. If you have a second home and you don't maybe want to have a second huge machine. And this machine is Brother 1700. It's on sale right now at an introductory price of $19.99. We do offer financing, 12 months, no interest. Just email Jer at McQueen if you have interest in this. The cool thing is that we have them in stock. The sad thing is that I don't think they're available anymore. So when we are out of what we have, then we're dealing with waiting for them to come back into stock. So luckily we've ordered, I think it was 60 to make sure that we had enough to hopefully get us through until the back orders are fulfilled for our next round of them. But we haven't seen them yet, our next round. We're still waiting. And so Jarrett, I was talking to Trish yesterday, and we decided to offer a special price on some of our quilt kits that are just in time for the holiday. And so Jared's going to show a pop-up on the screen, I believe, of the quilt kit. And then I will grab one off the table here. So these are specially priced on our website. And that one is called So Merry. It's Maywood Studios. And it is all the fabrics and the pattern. Maywood Studio fabric, which is glorious fabric. And that is on sale right now on our website. It's a Black Friday pricing basically on these. And Jared's going to pop up the next one.
Maywood Studio, if I'm not mistaken, makes all the Kimberbell fabric too, right?
I think so. Well, it has something to do with Kimberbell. I know it comes from that same place. And this one is Maywood Studios as well. And it's Glad Tidings quilt. 62 by 66. 66.
Darren actually has this on his bed. He has a twin size bed that he sleeps in.
Yeah. I like kits because everything comes in it. You don't have to worry about trying to pick out the right fabrics. This is picked out from Maywood Studios. And the next one, this one is the one that Jared has on his sleeping bag. This one is called Warm Wishes. And if you've used Maywood Studios or felt Maywood Studios fabrics, go ahead and comment I know that it's a big favorite amongst our customers. We basically decided to take our quilt kits that are holiday themed, Christmas themed, or just this season, because some of them I think are. I'm not seeing. Oh, that one's in a box. This one comes in a fancy dancy box. This one is called Home Sweet Holidays by Deb Strain. It is all. This one's a Moda kit, and it comes in a box. All the cool stuff that comes with to create that kit. And these are limited to quantities that we have. The special is, but it is a very nice applique type quilt. Jared was over there taking a bite of pizza while I was trying to.
Whoopsies.
All right. There's
Does
only
the backing come with the quilt kits? I don't believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I will find out for you here in a few moments.
Most of the time, quilt kits don't come with
The backing.
the backing. They come, so half the time they come with the binding, half the time they don't, but majority it's just the top of the quilt.
There's only 2 left, and let's see which one Jared's got to pop up there. That one we showed, that's the one that you put on your sleeping bag.
Not the one. We showed.
Oh, well, that's the same one, just a different colorway, I guess.
Okay, so then there's 2 of those, and then this is the last one.
That one is. I was trying to
The
slip it in
flannel
this way.
kit.
This one is for those chilly people.
It's like Darren. Darren is cold when it's 100 degrees outside.
You know, we went camping a couple weekends ago. I think it was just last weekend.
Yeah.
And up in Williams, Arizona, and it was like 50s in the day and 30s at night. And so we brought flannel sheets this time. I don't know if you call it camping when you have sheets, but we were. It was so much warmer.
It's glamping because you're
Glamping.
in a camper.
So this one is one that we also have, but we don't have a pop-up for it, but that's okay. This one
Darren's
is
going to sew that right now.
called Snow Days Quilts. This one is also a flannel. So it looks like we have 2 flannel ones, Maywood Studios. If you're interested in a kit, they are discounted, I believe 30% off for this 1 week or while supplies last. Jared's asking me to put on my hat. I'm not sure why. Is there something going on, Jared? That
Oh, I want that one.
okay. I see why now. Jared wants to.
They're my earmuffs because I'm sick of hearing Darren talk.
We have some notions that we would like to show as well, and a new product. This is a hot iron. So, Jared, I'm going to switch it to this camera. To
This camera?
this guy here. No, not that camera, Joe. That's you. Let me just make sure it's lined up first.
Yeah, you want to fix that?
I sure do.
The button's stuck on this camera.
On your camera. If you guys like Jared's hat,
What camera is it?
I want to tell you guys before I do this that I have never seen this until yesterday. I didn't know we even had it. I don't really know what it is. So this is going to be me showing you live with never even. I just took the plastic off, but it is brand new to the market. It's called Quilt Binding Express. So those of you at home that would like to make fun of me while I try to demo this without ever even trying, but you take a 2.5-inch strip, and you will folded, it looks like. So Jared, am I really doing this live?
Yeah.
We poke it through.
Hold on. Stay there. Freeze frame. Maybe a cameraman.
I should probably call someone in that has used this. And you get it started. And you take your cute little iron. Look how cute that is. And as you pull it up, it's folding it and you iron it. And I'm sure there's a better way of using this. I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing. And Jared's showing me it really close in the face. But it's a way of bringing your binding in and ironing it on your press pad with, you have a 2-inch, 2.5-inch, and 2.25-inch binding strip. Brand new. I thought I would just show it real quick, even though I don't know exactly how to use it. And I think it was just funny to try something that I've never done before live on camera. And it looks like an elf, Lynn Maynard is saying. So it's almost time to put on our show jackets, although you don't have
I don't have one.
You don't have a show jacket. Yours was,
I'll just wear yours and you can go shirtless.
all right. And then because we're going to play some games, we're going to round out our.
We have to convince Kenneth to come in.
Yep. If you guys want Ken to show you a 10-minute Serger project that is sewing a zipper in. He's nervous for some reason. He's never nervous. He's wanting me to put it off until next week. But I think if we get enough comments that want Ken to come in here to do a Serger project that is really quick and easy, he's not going to teach how to do it. He's just going to do it in front of us, which I think he should. But we'll see if he'll do that. There's only a few of these in our store right now. I think there's 4 or 5. But who doesn't like those advent calendars? And this inside it is all your different doors.
Can't show it.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you had all the doors open.
No, I don't have the doors open. On the back, it does give you what is included in each of them. We have those on sale right now. These are going to be in the Mulqueen. No, some of these are going to be in the stocking stuffer. I think
They're all saying Ken. So I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna leave the mic on.
we might
I'm gonna forewarn Ken that the mic is on.
we might take a break before he comes in here.
Yeah.
He's out there showing a Serger.
Let me find him.
We have a couple of puzzles. If anybody is interested in doing puzzles, 1,000-piece puzzle, how hard would that be? That has a lot of similar areas, so it'd be one of those puzzles that take a while. So we have puzzles. Those are great Christmas gifts. I have this. I need to bring this.
Just say hi to
basket over
yourself.
here.
You're watching right now. It's live.
Wait till you see this. This is by Eleanor Burns. It is a dusting brush. They call it, I'll hold this up, the cat paw. Oh, I think Janet might want this. It's called the cat paw lint brush. And let's see if you can guess what it is or what's on there. But it is a cat paw. But as you pull this out, sorry, there we go. We push it in actually to unveil the brush, but it is still a cute little cat paw that you can brush the lint out of your sewing machine.
Oh, it's got a little paw print on it. Look at that.
And I think Janet Green is probably buying those up right now as Christmas presents.
Reminds me of Darren's feet.
No, I don't have paws.
You do.
That goes right in here. That's Eleanor Burns. Show how you dust out the machine, Jared.
Okay.
You stand right in front of the camera so they can't see.
Oh, sorry, we don't have a switcher.
Yeah, this camera switcher is missing.
So, oh, Darren's a great seamstress. He just leaves his irons on. Just waiting for
Does that
us.
even have an off?
Yes.
Wow. I was just thinking you would just kind of show the area.
Well, you just go into a little bobbin case area. Most people would take off their needle plate, but
Look how good he does.
hey, look at that, nice and clean. Not like it was a brand new machine or anything.
Joyce, did you like that?
My dad was, Ken was selling a Serger.
A Juki, of course.
He sold 2.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have them in for a little bit.
So we did an event with the American Sewing Guild with a wonderful teacher out of Texas, and she taught this zippered bag that you can sew up in 20 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes. And we do have these in stock, which it is Laurel Birch.
They're all on the website individually listed as well.
And that's basically a credit card holder. Who wouldn't want that? I think this can
Me personally,
oh,
but I normally don't go for butterflies. I'm more of a dragonfly kind of guy.
yeah. So that is they call it a zipper card wallet. And of course we have sewing tissues.
Ooh, yeah, and we should break this open and have people watch us put a 1,000-piece puzzle together on live.
Yeah, if you guys would like to see us put a 1,000-piece puzzle together live, have you guys used your bobbin buddies? You get 3 in a package. You put your clip through your bobbin and put it on your spool of thread. It keeps your bobbins together. Here, do you want to show eventually where these are? And
I would love to.
On that Laurel Birch zippered bag, she has 2 other patterns. So this is probably the one that Jer carries.
No, I have the dragonflies.
I thought you had the mermaid, but those are neat. Those are the credit card wallets. We just thought you might want to see some stocking stuffers. That some of them are a couple dollars, some are a little more than a couple dollars.
Darren, what's this right here?
Just wait until, oh, that's our website.
What's the website?
I think it is mulqueen.com.
mulqueen.com. So you go to our website, you click on live event specials, this balloons right here, and Lindy G was on this morning, so you can click on that if you were interested in anything that she had to offer. This next one here is the stocking stuffers. So you can sort through, you can see different scissors that we have on sale, all those zipper bags that Darren was very keen to. Then you have the jigsaw puzzle, you've got more zipper bags, measuring tapes, scissors, sewing kit. That sewing kit's pretty neat. Did you show that yet?
Nope, not yet. And the pencil topper deal, that's.
And then there's a couple of sewing kits, but then there's the cat paw, lint brush, and then the bobbin buddies. Don't be mistaken, it's a 3-pack, not an entire tub.
For 80 cents.
Yeah, so it's a 3-pack for 80 cents, not 100 and some odd.
Those are the Band-Aids.
The Band-Aids right there. That's what Darren wears normally.
Jared uses the tissues there to blow his nose in, and the Band-Aid when he gets a boo-boo.
Yeah, Darren uses the tissues when he cries like a little baby.
Okay, this is that pencil with the sewing machine topper, which is kind of fun for, it's actually a pen. The ever popular small sewing kit to carry in your purse. That's what Jared carries in his purse. And then these are fun, just zippered pouches to put your stuff in there. You know what I'm talking about. stuff.
Darren's got lots of stuff.
But those are nice little zipper bags. We just want you guys to know that we have tons of little gift items. If you have a group that you buy gifts for and do exchanges, I know that this guy has been popular for gift exchanges. It's just a spool of thread, but it's magnetic inside to hold pins. So if you guys need something to get to your friends for gifts, if you're buying quantities, come in and see us. I'm sure we can work out some sort of special for you if you're buying quantities. They said we should show this. This is a bias tape for the elastic that you can.
Not just for elastic.
No, it's to make the
Bias
straps
tape.
for masks is what I meant. If you're doing that kind of thing, these are. Whoa!
You should have caught it point down.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen the Band-Aids. Here, show your boo-boo. Sorry, guys. Zippered bag again. Again, they're like $5 items. Perfect for the holiday season. This is one of the favorites. It is a seam ripper and needle threader. They're lighted, 50 lumens. That's how bright the lights are on Jared's truck. They're rechargeable, so you don't have to ever replace batteries or anything like that. But that would be a great gift for someone that you love that has a hard time threading needles. And boy, I think I'm at the bottom of my barrel, Sharon.
You got all the monkeys out?
I think so. I think there's a couple of scissors, like the ones I dropped, I guess. Maybe I'll show those. And then that would be almost all. And I think if you do order a certain amount, I don't know what the dollar amount is, but we do have some gifts still that we're going to give away with purchase a certain amount. But these are just novelty scissors that I use to throw at Jer, but you can use them for sewing purposes. We have the Laurel Birch metal wallet for where people can't scan your credit cards. That actually may be a sewing kit as well, but this is the gift. I'm going to go let my mom know that anybody that spends 100? No, not that much.
Yeah.
How about
200?
200? How about $20? If you spend $20, you're going to get a $10 gift in your package this weekend and while supplies last. Do the card holders have RDF protection? Janet, you would ask that, wouldn't you? But just so you know, these are $12.95, and it'll be free with any purchase of $20 or more. I will go tell my mom right now because I know they're already filling some orders. Let me just read. The card actually doesn't have any. Oh, look at that. On the credit card holders, it does say on there, which is hard to read, but RFID protection. So on those zippered pouches, they all have that anti-scanning of your information from your wallets.
Will you take your credit card out and show them the backside of it?
Okay.
Just, yeah, put it on live. Show them that's your AAA card.
Oh, that's my AAA card. Sorry.
I have that same color one.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Adorable.
Okay, so I'm going to take a quick break. Same with Jer. And we're going to go bug Ken. I'm going to clean off this table, make it really nice. Maybe I'm going to have the customer that's out there looking at the Serger come in and watch.
Should I show them one thing real quick? What I would look like without a beard on camera?
Sure. This is what Jared would look like without a beard on camera. Oh, look at that.
That's scary.
That's your driver's license?
That's my driver's license before I turned 21.
How old were you then? 12? You look like you're a little 12-year-old. All right, so what do you think? Should we? There's still a couple of spots for the Southwest Embroidery Conference. I just want to tell you that one of the projects you're gonna fuse a snowman onto a piece of fabric, and we may pre-fuse some of them or all of them. But you're going to take that piece of fabric on a computerized long arm, and you're going to add a border to it. You're going to quilt across the top of it after you select the quilt pattern that you want. And then when you're done with that, you're going to take it to a Brother embroidery machine, take a picture of your snowman, and then we're going to applique a clear vinyl over the top of it. We're going to fill it with sequins, and then we're going to applique a base onto the snow globe. And so I just want you to know that the Southwest Embroidery Conference is more than just 2 days with OESD. It is also long arm project, and then the Yuki company is going to do a Serger project, which is going to be fun. And then you also get to see embroidery designs converted to long arm, so that you can see a huge 4 or 5 foot embroidery design being embroidered and the process of that. So it is quite a full day. There's 4 classes in one day that you guys will break out, and then the other 2 days will be with OESD, and we supply everything. And this is just the last time that we get to let you know about it, because we have to close the attendance here, I think this weekend, because we have to get everything prepared for everybody. All the free gifts and name badges and food and all of that gets that squared away. Jared's writing up something. I think he's writing help. Is that what it says? Oh, so if anybody, Jared's being held against his will. No, Jared, you're the one that controls the button over there. Remember?
You're right.
That's right. So without further ado, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to tell your friends, please share and say, Ken is coming to show a quick Serger project, so that
It's really cool. Did you want to grab it real quick and just
No,
show a little sneak?
I really don't.
Too bad. Go grab it.
I don't know. I just want to make sure Ken's going to come in here, but we're going to force him to, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be the one writing that sign next.
Yeah. So tell your friends. Let's get Ken in here, and we'll be right back. I'm going to go grab him by his ear and pull him in. I'm going to have to clear this off, get him ready. So give us a few moments, and then Ken will be here. Right?
Welcome back. I forgot to add myself into the camera. I'm just gonna come back live for a minute while they get set up and orientated, or however you say that. But I'm gonna show you a couple things. The first one being Darren's new dog. So that's Darren's puppy. The second thing I'm going to show you is actually how to access our class calendar and to see everything in the calendar. So let me go ahead and switch my cameras over. So this is the website, mulqueen.com, just mulqueen.com. Go ahead and click on the calendar right here where it says calendar. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to this week's events, or the following week's events. But that's not the full calendar. Go right here to view calendar, click on that, and on there is where you'll find the full calendar for the that month, previous months, and the upcoming months. So next month we have the Southwest Embroidery Conference, and that starts on Wednesday the 1st, ends on Saturday the 4th. So on and so forth. So the Serger class, Kenneth is just going to give you a quick little demonstration today. But if you've bought an air threader Serger or just a regular Serger from us in the last about year and a half, since we haven't had really any classes, you can go ahead and sign up for that class, which is December 15th. The regular Serger class is at 10 a.m. and the air threader, which would be the MO 1000 and 2000 auto threaders, those are at 2 p.m. The only machines that we do not give classes on are 5-thread Sergers, or any more than that. So at this moment in time. So the other couple things I want to show you, if you're looking for gifts for someone for Christmas or the holidays, you can go ahead and click on gift cards right here. You can add this to your cart by selecting whatever amount you want on the gift card, and then add it to the cart, purchase it, and it will physically, you won't get a physical copy, but you'll get a emailed copy of a gift card to you.
Why is that max out at 100?
I don't know. You got to change that. But couple more things. So a couple like different things that we've changed with the website. If you go into fabric, you can actually click on, kind of have to scroll for a little bit, but if you go to the L section right here, you'll see latest arrivals for whatever month is current. So latest arrivals for November, click on that, and this is what's come into all 3 of the stores, as well as like our storage for November. So
I always like to look at that top number where it says 281.
So we've added the 300 bolts since.
No, 281.
300.
Oh, were you rounding up? Mm-hmm. And then go back to last month. Latest for October.
140. Which it probably was more than that, but a lot of it has sold. So the month before we had 288. In August we had 354. But one kind of cool thing I want to show you, if you go into the cuddle section right here, click on cuddle.
Your loves to cuddle.
Yep. Especially with Darren. If you click on any of these guys here, if you read the little lines underneath, you can see kind of what.
What's Angora?
Angora? It's like a rabbit. Oh, it's like rabbit fur. What I turned your dog into.
Oh, wow.
A rabbit.
Okay, what does solid mean?
So solid means there's no pattern or no print. So if you just click on that, it's just going to be a solid, same as like Kona or anything like that. It's just a solid color. There's nothing.
One of
too crazy.
My favorite guess is Mr. Ruby.
Is that Evan?
Oh, it's not. It's Mr. Ruby. Come on, what
is it, Evan or Aiden?
So I just want to say hi to Mr. Ruby out there.
Oh, Dad. Nice for you to show up.
They've been wanting you, Kenny. So we're gonna, Ken's gonna show something really quick. I know he doesn't want really to give it away quite yet, but
Am I on there? Hopefully I'm on there.
You guys hear Ken?
Can you hear me talking? Hopefully you can. How are you?
that's
Good
Ken.
morning.
He's the much older brother.
Darren's like my baby uncle.
I'm Evan's or Jared's baby uncle. If you,
Hey, Lily.
Lily
Go ahead.
Ken,
Go ahead.
we are.
Tote bag?
This is a project that we want to know if you want to maybe get a kit or take a class. So email jer@molqueen.com and say, I want to take that class or I want to do it virtual. Let us know how. I think in person is probably the best way.
It'd have to be. And it's a quick backup one. There's a great group from the Arizona Sewing Guild. And they had an event going on in California with a teacher named Patty Dunn, Dunn. I think it's All Done Designs or Patty Dunn Designs, which is where this pattern, you can download this pattern for free. I'll get Jer the link. He can put it up there. But she came out and we loaned them a bunch of Juki auto threaders. And she taught them mostly doing 2-thread stitching. They did a zipper bag. They did a jacket. They did a blouse. They created a bunch of projects in 2 days. It was crazy. I was stunned. Unfortunately, I had to keep coming back back to the shop, so I couldn't spend all day, both days with them. But what they all created was great, and I'll show you a quick little rundown. And then I took what she was doing in her class, and that's where. Did you show this already?
Nope.
So I took and created this, but I added piping with the piping foot from the Serger. I don't know if you can see that up on the.
Here, go to that far camera over there.
Which one? Tall? Yeah. So piping, stitch it all in the Serger, everything around. All the panels are sewn together with the batting, and I'll show you. Plus, sewing the zipper in. Zipper was all pieced in there.
What about
So,
the webbing in there?
yeah, the webbing. I sewed the webbing into the corners. So the whole thing, everything, 100%. Go ahead and go back now, Jer. Everything 100% was all sewn on a Serger. I'm caught in the edge. So I'll figure that out. I didn't have a pattern. I just started throwing things together, and this is what came up. So I'll figure out how to turn this into a class, especially with the piping feet and everything. But
All right, I'm out of here.
you're out of there. Go to the beach, Darren. So what she was doing, I didn't cut up my pieces right, but it turned into a quilted bag, the zipper bag. Oh, show my zipper bag. There's my zipper bag. It's right. I think it's in this pile of stuff.
Oh,
here.
okay.
So I made one up. Real quick, easy, 100% in the Serger, and didn't take 15 minutes.
That was, he didn't know what he was doing, or he knew what he was doing, but
Yeah.
now I think we're going to time you.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We're not really doing a class right now. It's just, let's watch how quick he can make this.
We'll see how quick or how accurate I can make this.
I'm going to get a different angle here.
Whoops. And I'm already going too fast, so. Get
Ken wasn't prepared. Just give him a little leeway.
I'll nip off that first part. And I have a piping foot on the machine because I can't find my standard foot. But if you're wondering why that foot looks a little weird. Basically,
What Serger are you using, Ken?
this is the best Serger on the planet, the Juki air threading. Simple to thread. It has needle threaders. There's a little LCD screen that tells you exactly what to do for each stitch. So if something's not stitching right, you didn't change something that the window told you to change. And on that tote bag, the big part, see how close this blade is to the needles? So this machine will do turns or curves. And on that tote bag, putting that piping in and making those tight corners was awesome. So I'm making a bit of a mess, but we'll get it through there. Actually, is there scissors in here somewhere? Chairs or scissors? We'll see. Oh, there's some over here.
You have to do everything around here. So that we're on this
So we'll
camera
see.
here.
So I'm just going to nip that off real quick for my exact measurements there. And well, so we would build a layer all together with everything and then put our zipper. Let's get a zipper stitched in there. So I'll do the top half of the bag.
This is zipper by the yard.
Yeah. It was nice and easy. So then I'm going to put a little lining. Whoops, I should have gone for the other end, but that'll, I think I won't go the other end. We do it the other way. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying to go fast.
And we want this done in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Chair's yelling at me.
Ken was with a customer and Jared was demanding that.
So now,
But that customer, you know, I heard her at the register. She said, "You guys have the best customer service."
yeah, she bought this serger as well as the Juki cover stitch. And come on. And the best part was I stole it from our competition. Did I say that out loud? This will get you the idea.
You got the zipper in there. You got
Actually, speaking on
lining.
stealing it from the competition,
Hey,
um,
we better not start a fight here.
no, we're not starting a fight. Mole Queen Sewing will match or beat any written offer that you bring into our store.
So now once that gets sewn together, we actually end up putting in our zipper. We have our little zipper heads here.
Yeah, I saw them in a little bag.
There they are. So our zipper heads, and we can start up the zipper on it. So this, with the lining that's on it and everything goes through. And obviously we did one more layer on the other bag, but we get our bag to our lining. Sorry for the crazy fabrics, but it was scraps out of the back room. But the same premise, just folding them all together, insetting the zipper and putting the lining, turning everything inside out to go ahead and, seam it together. And then you have a lined zipper bag, and then just expand it whatever you want. It's all lined and done. Oh, and the webbing put in. But a quick, easy project. I didn't finish that one.
What's that?
I didn't finish this
No,
one.
that's okay.
But you get the idea. But then they did a lot of flat locking, and that was the best part on this guy does great job with 2-thread sewing and flat lock. But their flat locking was pretty much bonding different. They were using, she was using a batiks. But forgive me, I have to go back in. I never remember my stitching, but here on my window, which makes it easy, 3-thread flat lock, left needle in the machine, so I'm unthreading the right needle. My tension to 1, 3, and 6. And then you can adjust your length, adjust everything else with it. But this stitch, they were running a decorative thread on top. And whoops, that's why it was feeding funny. I had the differential set to gather. So they ran strips and strips together. And then with all the pieces,
Like
with
sharp
that-
scissors, huh?
yeah, you just take your seam and they would pop their seams out all up and down. So depending on what effect you wanted, nice and easy. So in this, she was running some ribbon through. So which Patty Dunn, if you're out there, I actually shared the post with the pictures to our Facebook page a week ago or so. So if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see photographs of all the students and what they created. And I will have Patty come out to teach some classes. So if you like what you saw there on the pictures, we will get her out. But if you're watching, Patty, sorry I'm ripping off your designs, but I do want her to come out and teach some of these. So pulling out a flat lock, that seam gets perfectly flat. Look at, I mean, it's a perfect stitch. And all I did was follow what's inside the window.
It's a happy little
And then,
stitch.
and so if you have wrong sides together, that's the stitch you get appearing on the outside. Just imagine a decorative thread running through it, and then seam after seam, right sides together, and that's your outside look of what you get.
And Dad, you don't have to take the needles out for that stitch?
Well, if you're stitching with the left needle only, you can leave the right needle in, just don't thread it. But worst case is it'll leave little needle holes. But if you are stitching with the right needle only, you have to pull the left one out. But perfect flat lock stitch, dead on the money. Everything on this machine does a great job. So I love my Juki Serger, but then we'll also have more classes. And then I have a foot class coming up after the first of the year on this. There's 8 different feet for this machine. But should I go to cording? Should I grab some cording?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds, grab some cording, and I'll show you that.
I'm going to grab some cording. I'm going to stretch my back.
I'm just going to look into the camera.
Yep. We're just waiting for Ken. Wasn't prepared. Just kidding. I
He
appreciate
didn't
him
know
coming
he
in
was
here.
doing this until about 12 minutes ago, actually.
I like to leave it to the end. How many layers is it surging through? Wow, impressive. Yeah, I wonder how many layers that is when you're doing all those.
Darren can't count that high, so
Yeah, so can you count that for me?
Well, where I'm
It's-
at,
2 layers of batting, 2 layers of fabric.
right. Well, if you look at, where am I at on this camera?
The big
you
one.
can go to the
Look here.
Oh,
one.
up here, the big camera. So on this loop that's here, I've got layer of batting, layer of fabric. Then I have 2 layers of fabric with piping. Then I have 2 layers of strapping, plus another layer of fabric and batting. It'll go through 8 layers of denim, no issue. And even sewing through and cutting off the zipper as I put it into the seam. So I thought the binding might give me, or the strapping here might give me, the nylon webbing might give me a little issue with 2 layers of that plus everything else, but it ran straight through it. I sewed that in this morning. So crazy. But
Lily's asking to see the picture of my dog again. Can you do that later?
Oh, yeah, here. Dad, do you want to see Darren's dog?
uh-oh.
This is Darren's dog.
Wonderful. So with our cording foot, maybe go back to the machine, Jer.
Are you guys okay with Ken doing the Serger Minute every time we go live?
Come up with a different little project or something. That would be fun.
So don't blow it all at one time, Kenny.
Yeah.
Ken sold me my QVP. I absolutely love using it. The air threading is like a miracle to me.
Yeah, it's the only way to go with a serger. So sergers are the only thing we sell that can be considered a torture device, and this machine eliminates every part of that. So I'm running a cord with this foot that's got a little cording foot that's got the gap in it to hold the cording in place. So for that little duffel bag, I did a ton of this. I just wrapped that cording up. And there's my cording, which is all the same that went around through with the stars in the bag.
And you stitch then on that stitched area? It gives you that little lip.
and then just, if I had contrast, I don't have contrasting fabric, so I'll
I do.
just, oh, do you? Perfect, red. So then just take
Sorry,
our,
that's 2 layers though.
that's okay.
Did you see what I was doing earlier, Kenny? You would be proud of me. I was creating a folded
Oh, wow.
binding.
So now, with that same foot, just plant your cording right between the 2 layers. Whoops. That cording I got is a little heavier, rigid there, but it'll work. Feed it in, and now you worry about your layers of fabric because the cording is going to stay in its little notch. So whether you're going through curves, so like the curves going around on my bag, it stayed right in there. The only problem I had was on a straightaway because I wasn't paying attention. I started going too fast. But as I'm sewing, you can see it going into that foot if I keep my top layer straight. But as you sew, and ta-da. Sorry for the, oh, my gathers. Whoops.
You do it again.
I did it again. So I gathered my bottom layer. Well, I guess if you want to ruffle to the piping, you can, but you shouldn't have the differential set. But creating your own cording, piping, simple. Simple, simple. Your tips of the day, I guess.
What do you guys think about that? I know that there was a customer the other day that she has a 5-thread serger, and she waits until she runs out of thread before she rethreads it because she hates threading it. And so we showed her how you just push a button and then it shoots the thread through.
Yeah, that aggravation people have with sergers, just rethreading that lower looper. The lower looper is the one that just drives them nuts. So on this guy, you just thread it or not, the first time, 100% of the time, hit the button and it threads it straight through. So nice and easy. 60-second serger session.
Someone said, I wouldn't mind the 60-second serger session. Feel free to use the name.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I wrote back on there.
Yeah.
But, when will you do some project classes?
Soon, very soon. Because Kay and I were talking a few things. Plus, Kay she wants to revive. We'll get the Serger Club.
Serger Club is where it should be at. Yep.
Yeah. So and that was always fun. She always had a good time with that. So it's fighting over classroom space
And holidays.
Southwest Embroidery Conference,
Rusty Barn.
Show,
Quilt
Pinners
Con.
Conference, all that. So yeah.
Yep. Ken, I believe, is going to do a project at the Southwest Embroidery Conference. Take over. We're still working on the fine tuning of that, but
He's actually going to show you guys how he stitches Darren's diapers.
right.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ruby, we are out of hippos. Mr. Ruby's asking to see if we have any hippos. So, Kenny, thank you.
You're welcome.
I remember going to a hotel, and my brother Ken was one of the special guests with Leanne Church from Australia.
Oh yeah.
And Lindee Goodall.
Lindee Goodall.
Those
generations. Yeah, generations. We went all around the country 2 or 3 times.
And I always think it's funny because Ken felt like he had to justify why he is talking to these people that are interested in maybe buying software. And part of his justification was how he started doing repairs when he was 13, 14 years old. So little did people know. I don't know if we should be saying that on
Well,
live.
child labor, yeah. If you had your sewing machine fixed at Lake Country Village at Baseline Rural in Tempe in the late 70s, it was probably child labor that cleaned your machine. So, yeah, I was 77 is when we first got Tempe store. So we started cleaning machines I was 9, 10 years old, cleaning machines.
I didn't have that level of putting things together. So my job was unwinding the bobbins out of the bin box.
Well, and Ellen, all those threads, you'd wind them up in a ball and Ellen bring it home to her cats.
Yeah.
But all of our soccer days, going to work on Saturday after soccer. So,
Yep. And Ellen is the gal that's still working here. She over 40 years doing repairs for us. But
Thank you guys.
Thank
I'll
you,
leave
Kenny,
with
so
guys.
much.
Have fun.
We're gonna
Take off
Like-
your mic before you say something you'll regret.
yeah, Ken's all mic'd up. We're gonna play some games, give away some gift cards, and you just want to go right into it, or you need to take a break?
No, I'm good.
All right, so let me get my microphone out here.
I just had them.
I have my microphone right here.
Did you steal mine from me?
No, I don't know.
I just had 2 of them.
All right, guys,
All right, I'm gonna come.
are you guys ready for game show time?
I'm gonna go like this.
I don't have my jacket on. Should I put my jacket on?
No, because I don't have mine, and I'll feel left out.
That would be sad. This is my Gene Rayburn microphone. You know, I went on to Amazon and all these different places.
There's
try to,
none.
I was trying to find one, and we have the. This is our Mole Queen / brother upside down logoed magnet picker upper. So if you or no, yeah, magnet picker upper. But if you drop pins on the ground, you can pick up all your pins because it extends out. Ours is fancy because it has a little light. So if you're in a dark room, you can see those pins on the ground. They are on our website for sale, and it doubles as a Gene Rayburn microphone or Bob Barker. So we are going to play.
One away.
Let's bring in the confetti or something. Let's make it a party. We need to pick out a contestant for game number 1 of the day. This is going to be for a Mole Queen gift card. And look at that confetti making a mess in our studio. So we do need a question. Our game number 1 is 1 away.
Yeah, I can put it up on the screen real quick, and then
Oh yeah, then we'll
I'll take it back down though.
Okay.
So,
Oh yeah, I need my little clicker.
right here.
So here's my clicker.
Yeah, that 3 times fast.
So I'm back.
All right. Who would like to volunteer to be our first contestant?
So all we need is 1 contestant for this game, and we need everybody else to help by commenting what they think the answer is.
Brian, yes, I do.
So it looks like Bev Hooper is the first person to say me.
All right, Bev.
We're gonna
you're
play-
first.
Just so you guys know, we're going to play, I think, 4 games. And so there will be other chances. So get ready to comment for the next one. But Bev Hooper, are you there? Just go ahead and comment, I'm here. You are the first contestant. Come on down. Right, Jer? Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So
All right. So
Bev
Bev,
Hooper,
you're-
yes. Okay. So you are the contestant. Everybody else will hopefully help you with the answer to this. We have 2 products. They have a combined retail price that we have incorrect. You have to tell us if each number is higher or lower. And if you can guess them correctly, you will win a $25 Mole Queen gift card just in time for the holidays or Christmas. So the 2 products are. Oh, I have the clicker. Oh. So the 2 products are the Janome MC 6550 sewing machine and the Handy Quilter Moxie. We have the combined total of $78.85. So somebody says, come over to YouTube. Not sure Facebook is not commenting properly. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I was just reading a comment there. So the game is called One Away. We have 2 items. The Moxie by Handy Quilter, which is an amazing price. And we have a little description. Jared will read you that description. He is our Handy Quilter guy.
So let me tell you a little bit about this machine. Own your quilts from the first stitch to the last. Equipped with long arm essentials, the HQ Moxie empowers quilters of every experience level to enjoy free motion quilting at a fraction of the cost. Combined with the height adjustable 8-foot HQ loft frame system or the little foot frame, Moxie enables you to finish any quilt, any size quilt, and even in a limited space.
So I know there's a lot of quilters that do it for, for other people, but sometimes it's kind of nice if you piece a quilt and take all that time that you might want to finish the quilt, and this is a great way to do that. The Janome machine that we're combining the retail prices, and remember these are retail prices that we're using. That's how they do it on Price is Right. Everything is retail price. This is the Memory Craft 6650. It has a 10-inch throat space. It's all metal. The flatbed is seamless. There's no bumps from a free arm piece that would come off. Perfect for large projects like draperies or quilts. But you can do small stuff as well, like socks for Jer. It has a very fast speed, one of the fastest top drop-in bobbin machines on the market, and it's basically a professional machine. So the combined price, Bev, if you're still out there after all of that, is not $78.85. Is the 7 an 8? I'm sorry, yeah, is a 7 an 8 or a 6? So is it a higher number or lower number? So just remember that, and everybody else, if you don't mind helping her. The second number is an 8. Is it a 9 or a 7? The next number is the other 8. Is it a 9 or a 7? So just one number up or one number down. And of course, the last number, it says 5, but it's not the right one. Is it a 6 or is it a 4? So anybody that has an idea, you can type all the numbers together. And so Bev can figure out, is it 8794? So any configuration, Kathy, people are getting it there? Perfect. So Bev, this is your game. If you want to choose one of their guesses, because we're going to give you the correct answer here right after Bev gives us her final decision. And make sure it's your final answer.
7588 is what Bev said.
Oh, there it is, 7588, and the answer is 8994.
Well, Bev, you can email me, jer@molqueen.com, for a consolation prize, or as Darren calls it, a star prize.
A constellation prize. Bev, please email Jer. He's going to email you a Molqueen gift card anyways, because we appreciate you and everybody else. So the next person that says me will be our next contestant. Yeah, Bev, you do get a gift card still for trying, and
Marty Arambula.
Okay,
I know
Marty.
she told me what her last name was once, and I'd forgot.
Marty is our contestant. If that's okay, Marty, go ahead and.
It's Martha, but
Martha. And we appreciate everybody out there. Sorry, we can only pick so many people.
You want me to read this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have 3 products. Can you guess which one is the most expensive? And can you guess which one is the least expensive? If successful, the selected contestant will receive a $25 molqueen.com gift card.
So Martha, these are the 3 items.
1 second. Bev, you also have to email me to get that gift card. You can't come into the store to get it.
So email jer@molqueen.com. So we have 3 items, Martha. We have Marty.
Or Marty.
Marty, number 1 is Retro Wash. I don't know if you guys have tried that, but it does help eco-safe solution for your laundry needs. You can do delicate clothing, cotton, silks, wools, has no dyes. It's a 1-pound bag. made sure of that. Item number 2 is Aileen's Tack It Over and Over. If any of you have a scan and cut out there, this is the product that allows you to revive your sticky mat. Once it becomes not sticky anymore, you can mix just a cap full of this with water and paint it on to revive your mat. And the third item is a base, a plastic stabilizer for your bag making project. This particular one is 6.5 inches wide by 18 inches long, 18.5 inches long by 1/10 inches thick. So, Marty, which one is the most expensive? And which one is the least expensive item? And anybody can help her. Marty, you can choose one of the items. Our attendees out there.
Most expensive, number 3. Least expensive, number 2.
Okay, let's see if Marty is correct.
No, she's not.
Marty. Okay, so Marty, you do the same. Email jer@mulqueen.com.
For your consolation prize.
Constellation prize. Okay, time for another game.
Which one is this one?
Hopefully Mr. Ruby is out there.
Pick a jar.
This one is called Pick a Jar.
Okay.
So
this is the first time I'm seeing this.
So this one is you pick your favorite jar, and I think.
Oh, geez, I can see the next picture.
Who is?
Oh my God.
Who is the first that?
Mary Hamill.
Mary Hamill.
Mary Hamill, are you ready?
So you have to pick your favorite jar. These are some of the jars I made in our emails. And it's funny that Jared just made a dog picture with me. I don't know if you knew that this was coming or not.
I didn't even know. I didn't look through the slideshow at all.
So these are some of the jars that I put in the bottom of our emails. I don't know if you get our emails. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks worth of emails. And Mary, is it Mary?
Yeah.
Mary, all you have to do is, which is your favorite jar?
How the heck does this game work?
And the correct answer is, Mary, are you out there? Mary, which one was your favorite? Which one?
One second. She might. There's a delay in the streams.
Yeah, Mary, it could be jar in a diaper. It could be ballerina jar, or donkey jar, or duck jar, monkey jar, dinosaur jar,
Or Darren Dog.
hair and dog jar. And Mary, you have 10 seconds. Boom, 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 boom. This particular game is one of the kind of funny ones. Last time was guess how many fingers we're holding up behind our back? And Mary, are you out there? If not, I'm gonna have to
We're gonna pick someone else.
And this game is so silly that all you have to do is pick the favorite jar. And I have the answer coming up here. The prancing jar horse reminds me of the Shrek movie when Donkey gets changed into a stallion.
Valerie. So.
All right.
They're all coming in now. So we've got Monkey Jar horse, number 2 for Happy New Year.
Mr. Ruby, Monkey Jar loves.
All right, Mary, are you there? Because otherwise we're gonna have to move on.
All right. And I just want everybody to know that my favorite Mr. Ruby is still out there. If you don't mind to say hi, Mr. Ruby.
And also refresh your streams because you guys are like 5 minutes behind.
All right, so I am going to pick I'm going to let you know the winner, and we'll see if Mary does answer. Don't forget, everybody, say hi to Mr. Ruby. That is,
She just responded that she's ready, and I
Oh.
asked that 5 minutes ago.
okay.
She's way behind.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mary, just pick your favorite Jer, and I'll tell you if you're right.
Yeah, I guess email me if you're right. So move on to the next thing.
Okay, wait, yeah, we can't wait for that to catch up.
No, she just.
Thank you guys for saying hi to Mr. Ruby. He's my favorite one. He's one of my favorites, anyways. 'Cause I have 2 Mr. Rubies at home.
Really?
Yep. Only one Mr. Ruby, but the other one is I don't know what his username is. Okay, so
Oh, she said ballerina Jer.
oh, and the correct answer is ballerina Jer. You are correct.
That's funny.
So Mary, you win the gift card. Okay. So we need one more contestant. Can we pick Cindy?
Oh, she's from way before.
Really? All right, let's say a new.
Okay. Comment. Hi, Darren, if you want to be the next contestant. Say hi, Darren.
We have to try to make it as fair as possible. I think we have
Kathy Grubar.
1 or 2 more.
She was on it last time.
You played last time? She's quick.
Let's see who was first. We have Roger Rugg was first.
All right, Roger, can you just say you're ready to play? Yeah, it's weird. We're having a lot of lagging. So I'm sorry, everybody, we just want to make it fun and pick some winners or contestants. And it is lagging a little bit, but.
Well, they've all joined in at certain times or like pause the stream, stuff like that.
So maybe this isn't the right
it's
type
not the right way to do it.
This is not the right game to play, but so we'll play it one more time, and then next time we will choose a different way of playing games. But I see Roger is ready. So we have 3 items: Aero hydraulic sewing chair, which the button is the favorite one, and we do have them in stock. A friction pen set. How many pens are in that pack, Jer?
I don't know. Can't count that high.
Well, it says right there on the screen. There's 7.
Oh, 7 pack.
That's it. And the third item is a wool pressing mat.
How big is that?
I don't know. I don't have my tape measure.
Oh, you can just look at the screen. It says it right there.
Oh, 8 by 8.
Huh.
So we have 3 items.
Janet Green just said 8776
Oh yeah.
for the first thing. So she's like paused her stream and it's gone forever.
So sorry, guys, but Roger is on the same speed that we are right now, the same pace. So we have 3 items. The hard part about this game, Roger, is that when you take the total of those 3 items, it is in those numbers. You have to take away numbers from the front of that. Like you could take away right after the $, the 1, 2, and take away the numbers on the other side, making it $344.08, or you can make it $440.85. Do you see how that's played, Roger? So basically, when you add the total together, the retail value of those items, would you take away, here's an example. So you would take away, like I took away the number 1 and I took away all the numbers at the end. So it leaves those numbers in the middle, $234.40. The chair I know is more than that alone. So we know that's not the right answer, but Kathy Gruber is trying to help you out, saying 440.
Has to have 2 decimal points after, so you have to.
But it's okay. It'll be. Oh yeah, it does.
It'd
it
be
does,
like 85 cents or
yeah,
something like
it
that.
does have decimals. Sorry, guys. I was going to round up, and I thought, oh, maybe not. But So Roger, yep. Total cost and remove the bad numbers. You got it. So there's an example. So is it $344.08?
Someone said $854.05. Really expensive wool mat.
440.85 says Linda Newser.
408.54.
And Roger, your answer is?
Go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. Okay, leave it there. I'll tell you when to skip.
Roger. Yep, Roger, you can call on a friend.
He said 440.85, so go
All right.
one slide over.
All right, so the correct answer, Roger, is
Oh, you got it.
440.85. Roger is our first winner.
So email me, Jarrett@mulqueen.com, and
Oh,
you'll
no.
get a
Go ahead, yeah.
you'll get a $25 gift card.
We've had two winners because
Oh yeah, Mary Hamill got that too.
Mary,
So
Mary picked the right favorite Jer, which is the ballerina Jer.
all right, let's play one more game.
But anybody that's playing, they do win, even if you.
Jan Green said the most is retro wash, which we played about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, Jenna, I'm sorry. We'll figure different games or a better way of doing this where people aren't lagging and like stopping. And I guess I didn't think of that. Those are the fun things of going live. And you learn as you go. Okay. So anybody that wants to play, say hi, Jer. This is our last game of the day, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed the Lindee Goodall and my brother Ken. Right now, it's kind of hard to get people together on a Saturday during the holidays to come join us. So just to keep it fair for everybody, we're going to choose Diana Smith for this one. Diana Smith, if you don't mind to say I'm here. And I'm ready. Thank you, everybody. We're going to play some more games all the time. We like playing games. We like giving away stuff. Okay, Diana is ready. This one's high-low again. I didn't put all the descriptions. It was getting late last night. Whoops. And I wanted to go to bed. Okay, so this one is high-low again, which is the most expensive and which item is the least expensive. And you might already know how much that is because we were demoing that earlier. And that is another stocking stuffer. And the last of the stocking stuffer. So out of those three items, which is the most expensive and which is the least expensive? And Diana Smith is ready. Which one is, and you're not allowed to look it up. Okay, 2 high, 1 low. So Linda is saying number 2 is the most expensive and number 1 is the lowest. Janet
He
Green
said most is number 2 and least is number 3.
Okay. Are you ready? The correct answer is?
She's right.
There's another winner. Winner, winner. Is there another game?
I guess.
Oh, yeah. This one is really easy. So, who was the last one? Cindy?
That was Diana.
Diana.
Diana Smith. Email me, Jarrett@mulqueen.com.
You write down that she's a $25 winner?
Yeah.
And there is one last game. Have you guys seen this machine in person? It is spectacular. We have this machine on sale at all 3 locations. And it is not the price that we're going to give you, because at Mulqueen Sewing, we always have the lowest price guaranteed.
Okay, so what are they going to comment?
Type in Mulqueen.
Yeah.
The first person to type in Mulqueen, if you haven't played before and won, you'll be our next contestant. This one is 50-50 chance of winning.
C. Lombard. That's who came up on our screen.
Okay. So just let us know you're ready, C. Lombard. And you're caught up to the... And thank you all for playing. I do appreciate it. I hope that it's somewhat exciting and fun. I know it's not for everybody, only the actual contestants, but I appreciate you helping the contestants. And you're all winners in our book. Okay, C. Lombard, higher or lower? This is the Janome M7. It has 13 inches of sewing space. It's all metal construction. It is. It has a separate motor that drives the upper feed dog in tandem with the lower feed dog system. So it's the most accurate. And every screen has a QR code that allows you to learn any part of the machine with your phone or any type of device that reads QR codes. So this game, all you have to do is guess whether the retail price of this machine, and it is a sewing machine, it's not embroidery, is the retail price higher or lower than $69.95?
Said lower.
Are you sure? The retail price of the M7 is...
79.
Oh, it's blacked out. There it is.
$79.95. So you're wrong, but you can email me and I'll give you whatever Darren calls constellation prize.
Yep. So, C. Lombard, you will still get a consolation prize. And hope you enjoyed. Remember to email jared@mulqueen.com to get your gift cards. All your that's the only way we can get you the gift cards. So please email. And email Jared if you are interested in any any software. The software that that we support and train and think is the most amazing with its features is the Floriani software, and we have a bundle where you get the main software, which is FTCU, and you get the other 4 or 5 bundles in addition. Just email jared@mulqueen.com. Everything that was shown earlier, all of the creating the designs with the shapes, and that is within the Floriani software. And we have so many classes on it. We have Trevor Conquergood flying in from Saskatoon in February. And if I could tell you about that, I forgot about this. Jared, will you go to our website real quick before you guys go? I know that people are leaving, but anybody that was watching that's into embroidery, and you go to our website, don't forget to pick up that free download from Lindee Goodall. But also, if you go to classes and you scroll down, under classes on the top, there's classes. Then scroll down to, nope, to Floriani. Whoop. That's the last of the announcement for that. But our next class is going to be the Trevor Congregate right there. So this particular event, it's going to be at our store in our clubhouse or possibly in our main store, unless it gets bigger and bigger. But Trevor is flying in from Saskatoon, Canada. Is that how you pronounce it? Canada? Canada.
Yes, that is how.
Saskatoon. We are in works getting an amazing goodie bag for everybody from Floriani company for anybody that signs up for this event. But on top of that, are you ready for this? Many years ago, when we were working with Walter Floriani himself, we did an event at the Holiday Inn on Country Club and the Superstition Freeway. Walter Floriani was there as one of our educators, and I can't remember, Ricky Brooks was there from the Floriani company. And it was an event we did when we were still a Singer dealer. We had Singer XL, I think it was XL 6000s that everybody sat at and used for the event, similar to the Southwest Embroidery event that everybody gets to use the Lumineers and some other machines. But at this particular event with Walter Floriani from years ago, he was selling his family's digitized collection of embroidery designs. I remember him having a flip book of all of the designs. And so if you're interested in this, that's where you would go to find it. Classes, scroll down. Gerald, bring it back to me, I believe. But this embroidery design collection was, I believe it to be, it was like, at the least, it was $500. But I believe because back then it was his family's digitized designs, and it was, I think it was like $1,000. I have authorization to save those onto a USB stick and offer that for anybody that signs up for that event. You will get this embroidery design collection from the late Walter Floriani, the man behind the entire company of threads, stabilizers, software. But that design collection is going to be saved onto a USB and given if you sign up for that event. So if you sign up, it's $99 for the event, but just that gift alone is worth at least $500, but I think it's a lot more than that. And with that, I hope that you have some consideration in that event. That's not coming up until January 14th or 15th, so there's a lot of time on that. And it will include the lunch and snacks, an amazing door goodie bag right when you walk in. So I hope you sign up for that. And Jer, with that, I think we've done our damage for the day, and we appreciate you so much for joining us. Thank you for everything, supporting our family. Come in and see us sometime here in Mesa, Arizona. Come see Brian over at our Tempe store, Kyrene and Warner. If you haven't seen that store, it's amazing. Or our Glendale store, it's also amazing. They've done a great job with that location. That's at 59th Avenue and Northern, out in the Glendale side, the west side. And with that, Jer, I think that this is where we start singing and do our farewell.
Say, like Kumbaya or something
If
like
you
that.
want to you start it, and I'll continue it. So here goes Jer with his singing.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
We'll see you next month.
Yeah, December. Hopefully, we'll see you at the Southwest Embroidery Conference. Hopefully, we'll see you in the store. not, we'll see you back here the third Saturday of December. That'll be the last Saturday before Christmas.
It's like 4 or 5 weeks from now, actually.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We better start working on it. And we'll pick out some new games and a way to play it where there's not so much lag time. We'll have to work that out, Jer.
Yes, sir. All right. We'll see you later.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye.